Howdy, folks. Welcome to Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening and most other evenings, and joining me are my friends, Matt, Vincent, Tina, Cara, Hannah, and Alanna. We are going to play D&D tonight, and we're celebrating a Starry Night theme to welcome this summer in. There's a few people a little bit more starry than others. In fact, I would say there's two people who are a lot more starry than others. You'll notice over here on the left, you have Vincent, who has brought a backdrop, including the Eye of Emeralds constellation that some of you have been regarded more closely through than others. And then you have on this side, Alanna, who is actually dressed and done makeup in a starry theme, glimmering from that perspective. So I was thinking over the course of the break who would win the reroll, which I have right here, and it's very, very closely tied. So each of you roll a d20.
Yeah. I was about to say give it to Vincent because he actually did arts and crafts. Yeah. But you did arts and crafts on your face.
Yourself.
You did.
5.
Not that this matters.
11.
It goes to Vincent.
With the power of luck, essentially, you win this reroll. So you can use that at any point before the end of the session. So far, historically, you have the highest usage percentage and the highest win percentage of rerolls.
Yeah.
So, before we jump into our D&D game this evening, a couple of announcements. That's not happening anymore. So, we have a YouTube and Instagram of Threads of Blue Sky at AlberonRPG. Last night, we played Starfinder at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The party engaged in the very beginning of a relatively complex operation, in one that ended in a pretty sad way, actually, I think. But to see what that is, you can see when it re-airs on our YouTube on Sunday at noon. We also, on Sunday, are going to be playing a original one-shot, The Influencers 2, which is going to take place at CorpoCon. 4 to 5 social media influencers will be engaging in a friendly competition with some other social media influencers at a massive corporate convention center. There are 57 stalls that have all been statted out. There are inventories. There are all kinds of things. So you can see that on Sunday at noon right here on Twitch. We have a million other games, not literally a million, but close enough as to make no difference. And so you can see those over on YouTube. And finally, for music and other sound effects, you can thank Monument Studios. We thank Monument Studios and Sirenscape. Thanks. That is all the announcements that I have for this week. And so it is time for Courts of Everest. All right, and to Cara with the recap.
Wandering Hearts. When last we played, we had just passed the gate, as it were, that required us to deposit memories and gain some benefits if we had used our own memories, but we didn't, and it's fine. Surely that wouldn't have helped us whatsoever. Anyway, we were beckoned downstairs to the lower floor by none other than Zoros Eshere, who waited below on the second floor of the Austenloch. As we progressed, a thick mist began to swirl around our feet before we arrived at a room familiar, now, of course, that he has his memories back, to one Valis Birchbillow. Valis recalled this room as being one that contained a long, lengthy 70-foot table, which is huge. And
But like, imagine playing D&D at that table.
Oh.
The
we have to
space.
shout what my
We could
rules
have
are.
drinks. We could have food and encounter maps. Oh, amazing.
We would have.
There could be a whole actual
intercoms.
orgy orchestrated by Olive happening on the other end.
There you go. Yeah, and we could put
We need like a
full privacy
screen
screen
partition
up
for that. Yeah.
and we could run After Dark and a regular session concurrently.
Probably need some
Support us on
sound-
Patreon to help us
sound-
reach that.
I made this, Olive. Get out of here.
Sound dampening.
You made that?
Yes.
Oh wow,
cool.
that's super cool. You said nothing about that,
I know.
but no worries. Let me go ahead.
Someone came at me in the comments.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Anyway, mist and tables. They've turned. Mechanical noises ushered forth from this room as Valis reflected on the fact that the last time he was here, his memories were taken from him. Ori looked on ahead to search for traps and potential dangers, and instead found our way forward to the first level blocked by infernal ice. The only way through was seemingly to visit this room of lengthy tables and mechanical noises. Stepping inside, Ori was able to see that the mist was ushering forth from a throne of grotesque magnitude, flesh compounded on flesh, just sitting there in a glorious, fleshy throne. Don't know where I was going with that, but it's there now. It's out.
Oh, glorious
Can't take it
isn't
back.
how I would have described it.
Sometimes you got to ride the flesh throne. You know?
You gotta do it. I'm mad now. I'm mad. We found the remaining members of the Arcana class, as they had become one with the walls of the Austenloch themselves, to varying levels of aliveness.
Mostly dead. Pretty much all dead.
He was really gross.
They were still moving.
Moving
Anyways,
dead.
as Ori stepped forward, Zoros greeted him as the one who caused his pain and suffering, and suggesting that one of them should end the others. And with that, we rolled for initiative, and combat was joined. Some of us remembered to cast spells ahead of time, and it would have helped if there weren't modrons made of infernal metal that were able to hit us 4 times in a row.
Us?
Sir.
Billy.
Excuse you.
Listen, Billy did great.
Yeah, Billy
Billy the
tanked the
tank.
shit out of that. Yeah, honestly.
Sir. As Valis and Ori rushed forward to confront one of their many mortal enemies for righteousness and justice and ending pain.
Stabbing him non-lethally.
Stabbing non-lethally into the dust, this venerable member of the Austenloch, whose infernal studies got the best of him, and his heart was indeed taken. Zoros, with a giant hole in his chest, proved a formidable opponent, casting such spells as a 9th level meteor swarm. And if only someone hadn't counterspelled that twice during one combat.
Oh wait, I did.
It was actually that and Cone of Cold. Yeah,
It was sick.
it was so much damage.
No, it wasn't.
Triumphant once more, the Wandering Hearts attempted to free the Arcanoclasts from their suffering in various ways, and again, with varying degrees of success. Ori reached through the fleshy prison to try and divine what was on the other side, and discovering that it is indeed the Hells.
I went shoulder deep into that shit.
As you do,
How deep do you like it, Ori?
you gotta
Shoulder
listen
deep.
to the fleshy throne when you sit on it. It's important. And by the time our investigations had concluded, with unfortunately not as much information as we would have wanted, but maybe a little personal satisfaction, we continued to... You're welcome. We continued to the first floor, finding it deserted and empty. After teleporting us out so that we didn't have to meet any further Austenloch guards, we met Hearsome and Crispy at the Wincing Manticore, where we are now, as we prepare to rest and recover before moving on to the next part of our journey, one yet to be decided. As those of us who require 8 hours of sleep handed off a list for Crispy to go shopping, and the two who can just fucking trance in a corner go to deal with more direct personal and emotional matters.
Thank you, Cara. Yes.
Does Crispy read Elvish?
You have not asked him, but there is Elvish writing within the actual
he
Mincing
reads
Manticore.
everything.
Yeah, because I think instinctually she would have written the list down in Elvish.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, then yeah, certainly. I mean, he took it, no problem.
Okay, dope.
Before you went to bed, you gave him a shopping list.
Just think about it.
I did Alanna things, but if she handed over a list and said, "Here's your shopping list," and it was incomprehensible to him, then he would just be like, "All right."
He just looks at it and goes, "Oh, it's about par for the course, all right." And just walks away. No,
His best friends are Archfey.
No, you definitely.
What does any of this mean?
You gave him the list. He looked at it and he went, "Oh, casting revivify."
He comes back after 7 hours and 59 minutes and wakes us all up.
I got you your bag of onions.
Can this be any diamond, or could it be many small diamonds?
Oh, it said diamonds.
And then 7.5 hours later, he comes back. "I'm sorry, I'm terribly old. What did you say?" You gave him a list, and as you did, he did certainly say "Oh, he casting revivify." He knew what you were writing, and so,
Go Crispy.
he would have also corrected you on some of those prices. Revivify would have been 600 gold for 2 castings if that's what you're looking for. So there's a couple things that will actually kind of undercut the total that you are looking for. They're pretty familiar with the RNZ Taj collection, which is where there are bulk gems available for purchase. They would tell you, and you can feel relatively confident that they will be able to get you supplies for 2 castings of Revivify.
Mm-hmm.
You would likely be able to get the things that you would need for continuous gem or continuous flame.
Nice.
You would also, and I think that was all the gems that you needed, correct?
Everything else I think was chalk and incense and oils.
And for those things, you aren't really aware of people who sell those in the Emerald Spire yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something to ask Kirsten for sure.
Okay.
But you can mark those things off. Crispy will certainly return with those things.
Okay.
Crispy doesn't know where they're sold? Crispy.
Are you put those things on the list?
Did we not?
Yeah.
For those things, Crispy would tell you that he's not going to get those. And it would be a pretty definitive not going to, not a won't or can't.
I think then Minka would slip Crispy,
Sure.
10 gold and be like, then buy yourself something that you haven't bought yourself in a while.
Make a persuasion check.
He's getting more booze. He's gonna get so much good alcohol.
I don't get the
with
chalk.
Persuasion.
We have
It's
to.
probably just going to be 12.
Oh, I'll have to ask her. Okay. I'm sorry. I was zoned out.
12.
Yeah.
With a 12, they would just take the gold and say, "Well, thank you very much," and just walk off, no problem.
That's his tip.
Perfect. So you all go.
Is Hirsim still there?
Yes.
Okay. Billy doesn't think Hirsim will be there in the morning. Actually, no, wait. Billy needs to sleep. Never mind.
Okay. You go off to
Well,
sleep.
we know that
You
he's
hear
gonna
Alina's
tree
voice
stride
echoing
us
in your head.
to the Valley of Fireflies.
Mm-hmm. When Crispy mentions that he won't be able to get the items, then Minka would then ask Hirsim
Okay.
for said items, just to make sure that we obtain as much as we can that is feasible to do so before we have to deal with this with another 8 hours of rest.
So he would take that list from you, and he would say, "Well, Minka, I don't have any gold left. I gave you all of that. But
don't worry,
if
we
you are
can-
trying to get some sort of oil to use for reincarnation, please." And they reach into a pocket and they pull out a small dried flower. They hand this to you and they say, "When crushed, the Oracle Eye will produce enough of an oil to cast that spell."
Oh, would you like us to reimburse you?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't really like gold, Minka.
Oh.
It's crude.
You know, I agree. I feel like it made a lot more sense when I made something and then I got something back for it. This seems really abstract to me.
Me as well.
Okay.
Do you have any more of the teleportation chalks? Because I'm down to 1 casting.
I've given you what I have of that as well, but you all can likely handle dealing with some more abstract merchants. And so I can make an introduction to you to Gleamroot.
Sure.
They should have whatever you need for alchemical reagents, your movement dust, and whatever else you may need.
You gave me a bag of like 5 of them like a month ago.
Yeah, that was all of them.
Would it be possible to take regular chalk and make it fancy chalk?
It would.
Oh,
You would
yeah,
need to know the process for refining gems for such a use. And typically, that requires special machinery, or so I've been told.
Okay, but we have regular chalk. Maybe we can just provide that bit, and then like other things that are in our pockets. But thank you, Kirsten.
They nod their head, continue drinking.
If you're making introductions to abstract merchants, whatever shop that is, do they have... Do you
Their
know...
name is Gleamroot. They are abstract in their construct, I suppose. What is your question, Billy?
Do you know any potters?
They likely have... For what purpose?
Billy goes in, like, kind of, like, sits down and starts explaining, like, so that we can sleep.
Sure.
Basically, a waterless cauldron.
Okay.
And goes,
So almost immediately you can see a little bit of relief on their face, and they say, "Oh, for some sort of hobby. I'm sure Gleamroot will have something to help you with that. They have all sorts of reagents and materials from across this realm and others."
do you think if I gave them some bone ash, they could make it porcelain?
I am not sure what porcelain is, but perhaps.
Whatever the I've made Alanna very happy.
I had to ask too, don't worry.
Very smart idea.
Well, it's okay. Well, just fancy clay.
Again, ask Gleamroot.
Okay.
They're a being made of crystal. They know a thing or two about clay.
All right. Then. Good night.
You go to bed. Valis and Ori, the two of you do not need to sleep as long. Is there something that you're doing with the 4 hours that you have spare?
Yeah, before I go to bed, just before I go to bed, I want to find Cheshire.
Okay.
Ori's starting by just going to check on his sister.
Okay. Yeah,
And
we'll
then
get back to
we can-
that in a second.
Yeah, do other stuff.
Hey, Cheshire.
Hmm.
When I was in the library, I was just looking for books that I thought people might like. I found this one. I thought you might like it, and I didn't know how to borrow it, but I don't know if we can really go back. So, this is for you. And he passes you the Ballad of Sir Zashin, a song for every fallen enemy by the minstrel Ilstruck.
I like how you just look away from me over the whole thing.
I didn't know.
It is a
you can
ballad
have
for
this one.
every fallen enemy by the minstrel. By Sir Astra. Zashin Ilstruck. No, you mix them both up together. That's what messed me up. Give me 1 second. The Ballad of Sir Zashin by the minstrel Ilstruck. That is the book. This is
Subtext, a song for every fallen enemy.
Yes, there is a book that has a number of different stories, each one of which is told in like an epic sort of format, and each one about a different hero.
Thanks, Val.
You're welcome.
Shut up. Right,
You're welcome. Oh, I should go.
Alice is like, did you get me in?
And
Yeah,
the door,
your
the door
memories.
says nothing to you.
I go trance.
Okay.
Did you have more?
Oh, I mean, I'm just checking on my sister, and then I'm gonna go. I guess you're trans and
Talk to a lady about a sword.
He wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, it's okay.
He wanted to
Talk
talk
later.
to you.
Okay. So, Ori, you make your way over, kind of up the stairs to the room that has been set aside for your sister at the Wincing Manticore. Opening the door, it's dark. At this time of day, much of the Emerald Spire is... second here. Relatively bright, but here in the Wincing Manticore, with the sort of geography and the elements of the warm and welcome way that rise up all around this relatively small building, it's pretty dark just here. But you do get elements of light that come in off the street. You can hear people going by. You can hear like kids at the candy store like laughing, but it fades away. You can see in the bed, for a moment, it's almost like you're looking back in time because she's so small. She's your little sister, and you grew up with this person, and they haven't been this size in a very long time. They sleep, but it is a fitful sleep, and you can see in the sheets there's elements of sweat. Their time here has not been very restful.
Nothing I can do right now, so gonna quietly leave the room and go find somewhere. Valis isn't around now, so gonna go find somewhere.
I'll be around. I'll just be.
You see, as
dancing.
you walk out the door, you like shut it really quietly. You turn and you see at the door, right in Valis's face across the hall. And you hear, like, there's a solid, like, 3 seconds, and you're not sure if you should move or if Valis is going to. And then you hear Valis go, oh, I should leave.
Did you upset her?
No, I think she was just tired. I gave her a book.
Oh.
I have one for you too.
Thank you.
I got it from the library, but I don't know if we can go back, so, I don't know. Just thought you might want something to read if we have time.
Thanks, Valis. How are you doing? It's hard to imagine how it feels to suddenly have all of your memories flooding back. Now that we're out of danger, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. After I had trans, I was going to go visit where I used to live. Just see it one more time. Do you want to come with?
Sure. Yeah, I could use a distraction. I need to go do something. And, it might not be the best for me, but I think it's going to at least give us a bit more time to deal with the things that we're dealing with.
Do you want me to come with you?
Know what I mean? I don't know if it will benefit either of us. I'm going to try and contact the Madam of Dark Reflections. I can't have her interfering with what we're doing right now.
Has she been?
To a degree. I don't think anyone else noticed, but she is watching, and she is angry. I am going to try and treat with her, but I thought someone should know.
Okay.
But when I get back, we'll go check out your old home, yes?
Yes.
I'm glad that you're doing okay. If you do want to talk about it, I'm here for you as best I can.
Thanks, Ori. Do you plan to go cheat with her now?
Soon, yes.
Can I offer a spell that might help?
Yes, anything that you think will help.
should check to see if I have spell slots.
I really thought, I swear to God, I thought you were going to just go, guidance.
Don't fuck this up.
You move 6 seconds of a D4. All right, good night, Lori.
Oh dear God, I have no spell slots, but I have just one use of Harness Divine Power left.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Go to sleep. So I take a
Put
deep
it in
breath.
me. The divine power.
Why do you say it like that?
Bend over.
Alright, I will.
Forgot.
Cheshire
no,
supposed
it's
to get
not-
back at the door.
This is better than any book.
She's just writing a new song furiously.
Taking notes for her like late show in the book.
Yes, Valis, fill me with your power.
Put a hand on your shoulder,
The flesh and ground.
and he will cast protection from evil and good.
Nice. That'll be good.
And say, "Best of luck. I'll just be in my room when you're ready. In the morning."
All right. Thank you. Wish me luck. Good luck, Ori. I'm gonna sneak up. And Ori is gonna go and find somewhere pretty generally nondescript, very dark,
Okay.
so that there are no other reflections. And then light a candle and reflect onto the mirror key.
Okay.
To
So-
try and then speak with her, or like have her come into the mirror.
You have been here for long enough, and you know Crispy well enough that you can use the back room, no problem.
Nice.
There is no window there. You know that there's a door, but you can lock it to exit out into the back alley. You spent time here planning sessions with the rest of the party, but as they sleep upstairs, you put out the lights and you put this mirror blade out on the table. And as you light the candle and look at this blade, you see the Madam of Dark Reflections. You see this single eye just gazing back at you as your movement shifts the light across the blade and brings her into focus. What are you saying?
Madam of Dark Reflections, I wish to treat with you.
Bold of you. You've cost me quite a great deal.
I understand that we have wronged you, but I do mean this sincerely. It was not my intent either.
Oh, I know.
And I know
I've been
that
watching
know.
you for a long time. Many of you, in fact. You've great things to do, much to accomplish. I understand. It is not me that you've inconvenienced. It is all those who sacrifice themselves for power in a game far too big for you to ever see. But you have talents. You have skills I would rather not throw away. They step out of focus from this kind of blade, and you hear off in the back of this room that you are in a shift and a rumble. Behind you, you can hear this voice again. I have been watching you for a long time, and reflections are so much more common than you realize. And it shifts, and you can hear it from somewhere else in the room. Metal, stone, even the corner of your eye. The voice shifts a final time, and again, it is from in front of you, and you can see her. And she says, "So you would like this debt erased?"
I do not intend to repay the debt myself. That is something that Billy will need to pay a part of. However, you know what my goals are. You know what is at stake for me. I cannot have you disrupting what we do, and so I offer you a truce. Tell me what you wish from me.
There is something I want. And you, I imagine, are good at stealing things. Your friends are all quite good at stealing things. Take this from me, and consider all of your debts repaid.
She's talking about the sword.
She's talking about the sword, about the destruction of the Monastery of Dark Mirrors, and the huge amount of work that went into constructing that site.
So I have to rebuild it for her?
But you have to
She
steal something.
says,
She wants you to steal something.
She didn't tell you what it is yet.
Oh,
But this
okay.
one of my warlocks has recently given me the ability to access a place forbidden to me otherwise. I can move you and your friends there and back again. All you must do is retrieve the artifact. You will likely also need to kill whoever the Concord is set to guard it.
What does this artifact look like?
Oh, you shan't miss it. It is the heart of a dying star.
We already heard about this, didn't we? That sounds very familiar.
Or he asks his brain, but nothing seems to rattle back.
The heart of a dying star. When do you need this done? You know my timeline is limited.
They will find this piece of glass upon the floor sooner or later. Better tonight. Or at latest, tomorrow morning.
Don't you dare wake me up.
Won't have all of my spell slots back.
If it involves the rest of them, I do need to get their consent. I was hoping that you and I could come to terms.
And we have. If you wish to bring consent into it, that's your business. Speak to your friends. You know how to reach me. Do not contact me again unless you have an answer.
Thank you for speaking with me, madam.
The blade shifts on the table and wobbles, and they are gone.
Or he's gonna, like, get up, fucking dust his pants off, fucking go out.
He was kneeling.
In a pile of dust, specifically.
Right
It's
before
the
she
back
left,
room.
she just took a handful of sawdust right in his hands. Fuck you! And then just left.
Oh, there's so many reflections on all of those.
He was bent over to receive the power.
It's true. It's the
It's
optimal,
power
the
dust.
optimal position.
So, or
It's a
anything
power
else
pose.
before you go in trance?
How long into their time is this now?
Like 2 hours?
I guess I'll stay up for another 2 hours to finish the. Oh, but then I can't get up early with you to.
Just go to bed.
Fine, I'm going to bed.
All right,
I'm
you
going
go
to
to
bed
bed.
a
Then you'll have a
little
couple
early so that I
hours.
have a couple hours
There
to
you
go
go.
with
All right.
Valis, and then
So
we
you-
can chat.
You go to bed a little early so you can get up a little early. It's a great thing to do. There's probably even a saying about it.
Or his character that's going to bed early.
The first time, maybe in this
I should drink
campaign,
more Mountain Dew.
you go to sleep, Alina, and everybody else. You may mark off a long rest here in the Wincing Manticore, one of the safer places that you could sleep.
We didn't set a watch.
I refuse to apologize
I mean-
for liking leveling up.
And as you wake up, you do feel a little stronger than you were in the past as you all reach this new plateau. Now, Ori and Valis, the two of you do wake up a little bit earlier than the rest.
Good morning, Valis.
Oh, morning, Ori. I assume it went well since you're still here?
Better than expected. I am still here.
You sound so happy.
Well, I'm glad you're still here.
So, the Madam of Dark Reflections has given me and us, by extension, a task to absolve us of the debt that we owe. We are to steal a heart of a dying star from a location that she has just recently gotten access to from one of her warlocks. So, I did not accept yet, but if we are to do this, she has said that it should be done this morning.
Do we... That's not
Otherwise,
the shard.
I am not to contact her, and she will most likely come back to cause us grave harm in the future. Or he looks around at like, all the things that are reflecting now.
Okay, yeah, you do.
Do I know what that is referring to? Specifically...
The Heart of the Dying Star?
Yeah, is that...
Make a history check.
Okay.
Can I help by being like, did I read this in any of my old history? Is this book about that? Probably not.
This book that Valis picked at random out of the fiction section of the library have to do with this sword that was a key in a dungeon that I stole.
Has the Dewey Decimal System been invented yet?
No, we talked about this already.
Then it's on the table.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. I'm sorry. What was your role?
Was he able to help?
What do you think?
You know what? No.
I don't get my thing. You
Did you have a reroll?
You know what? I
Slap
reach
that
up
shit down.
into the heavens
Hell yeah.
and use my reroll.
Hell yeah.
You reach into the heavens, pull out the heart of a dying star.
Yeah.
Brain blast.
16.
That's a little better. I'd be like,
With a
think
16, you have not heard of
Valis.
something that is like the heart of a dying star. Although,
Harder, Valis. Think
you're pretty
harder.
sure. Not history by any sense of the imagination, except for maybe like a couple of days of history. You have been told about a weapon forged in the heart of a dying star. But you can't quite remember with a 16 what weapon that is. I will say, a 16 doesn't tell you anything about that. Concord, that does draw your attention. You know a little bit about some of the different learning structures amongst the other elements of the world, and the Concord, pardon me, the Concord, in Massachusetts, it's a town. The Concord is a entity that runs a town known as Port Talus in Mythelstream. And they are responsible for a number of very important academies, religious institutions, basically administering the entirety of that city, which itself is part of a larger sort of alliance. And so you would know that what they're talking about is a heist in Mythelstream, for what it is worth.
Okay. I share that. Are we...
I went to summer.
Do I know that Mythelstream is another continent? I feel
Yeah,
like
oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
all
You
right,
guys
yeah,
just looked
so-
at the living map, so.
Oh yeah, it's
Mythelstream
the
is
continent
north
that's
of-
You have a second grade education.
Mythelstream is
southeast of where we are. Are we gonna have to fight anyone for this?
She
She
said
said-
likely we would have to kill the person who currently is in possession of it.
Do we have to do that? As a
Either
paladin,
that-
I am not very comfortable with that.
Nor am I
Oh, I didn't know you were also a paladin.
not a paladin.
He's holding on to the smite for a worthy enemy.
Smites are across.
Is this the
Sneak
only
attack
way?
is smite.
Well, there are certainly other ways, but I think this is the most peaceable way. At least, other than just waiting in perpetual fear of some sort of catastrophe to befall us, looking in a mirror or a pane of glass or the reflection of the water.
We are to inflict a catastrophe upon others.
I think, at least for me, that's well past. Which is why I was attempting to treat with her myself, but this is something that I suspect we will all need to undertake. If to be successful, that is. Especially if it's in Mythostream.
If you want, everybody else is only 7.5 hours into their long rest. If you really want to get consent for this, if you want it to be urgent, you could still wake everybody up.
Alina would definitely do anything for you at that point. Once you are dead.
Oh, cool. Hey, Alina! Wake up! Pots and pans.
She would summon Rez just to send you to the hells.
Yeah.
You said it's about 30 minutes before everyone wakes up at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
29 minutes from now, I want to start pots and pans.
Oh, did they not
It's a
have time
class
to
feature.
visit Valis' house first?
Yeah, did we not have time to go to Salt Road and come back? How
Yeah,
long
you
would
can
that
just-
take?
I mean, that would take probably like an hour.
We can
but,
sorkin
walking
it.
in a
Yeah, we can
Okay.
sorkin that.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll
Sorkin
start
that.
doing that.
Okay.
We'll start
so
sorting on the way.
You began, you had this conversation on the way. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up my Emerald Spire. Nope, that's the awesome look.
It's not, it wouldn't be my preference, but if everyone
none
else
of
is
this
on board.
ideal. None of any of this has been ideal.
Okay. So you make your way up to the facet of the same place that you actually walk into. You are just going up and up and up a series of staircases until you can get to a much higher level on the Emerald Spire. Still not anywhere near the top, not even close to halfway, in fact. But this is up a little bit higher than you've been. The sounds of the warm and welcome way kind of die down. You can hear the sounds of people transiting around you until the sounds of Zassault Road begin to sort of rise up and you can hear people. And as you walk, Valis, for you are walking for the very first time in your most recent memory, but many of these footsteps are familiar. You, as you walk up these stairs, are walking them for the first time with Ori, but years ago, you walked them alongside Mela as well. And there are layers of these memories that are overtop the more recent adventures with the Wandering Hearts. But you do eventually make your way to Zassault Road, and where you once lived, there is a bed and breakfast. The structure is still very familiar to you. You can see modifications that you made to this structure, but there is a place that is now called Zacton's Breakfast Nook.
It seems as if it is under new ownership.
Good. Should be.
You want to get something to eat in there? They probably serve food. I don't.
Yeah, I thought that'd be the plan.
So- This one's on me.
Thanks, Ori. And let's maybe get something for the rest of the group too while we're here.
Yeah, fine.
You don't have to pay for that. I can chip in for that.
No. It's fine. This is on me. I'm just more hesitant to be dispersing funds to certain members of the party at the present. But I don't want to bother you with that. Let's go see what they've got to offer.
If you can't bother me, then who can you bother?
Pretty much everyone else in the entire world. I can't trust Billy now the way that I did. And
Is it due to her not going with the plan that we had in the sphere?
to a degree, yes.
I
But
also thought it seemed odd.
there's things that Billy is hiding from everyone, including herself. But I thought that she had moved past it. Seems I may have been mistaken. And I cannot allow myself to be vulnerable in that way again. Not with her. Especially if she's not even going to own up to what she's done. She hasn't even spoken to me, and I am not going to be the one to broker that. I have too much to deal with right now.
I understand that.
I thought you would. I appreciate that I can at least speak with you about it. Mela seemed like a very nice person.
You would have loved her.
It's still very impressive how noble you are, despite everything, Valis. I appreciate your companionship.
Thanks. I was really worried because I didn't know if I was gonna be different when I got my memories back. If I was who I was gonna be the same. Or if who I was when I didn't have them was really me. But now that I have them back, my convictions are the same. And I still feel and think and fight for the same things I fought for when I didn't have my memories. And for that I am thankful. I think it's my purpose that allows me to stay the path that I'm on.
Well, I'm glad that you have found a purpose. I know what mine is for now, but to be honest, I was really hoping that you would know something about Wake Peter Flew with your memories.
I also wish I could have helped more. But it seems as though we need to find your father for more answers.
I agree. Something is bothering me that Zoros said before he died.
What did he say?
I was the cause of his suffering. I don't know exactly what he means, but I do have some idea.
More than just us breaking the pact that he made?
I would say, Ori, all of you broke that pact. You said it was your fault.
Yeah.
Am I misremembering? I thought he said that Wake Peter flu was Ori's fault, not
Correct.
his suffering. Right.
Ah.
Wake Peter flu was his fault.
Well. Do you want to know what I think about that?
See, Valis loves consent too.
Consent is important.
Yeah.
Could he have been referring to the fact that Wake Peter flu was the way your father sought payment for his end of the bargain to get you and your sister power?
I don't think that's quite it. I can't be certain, and I don't think that there's really much reason to speculate. We will need to find and speak with my father for any real answers.
I will be behind you when you do. If you want me to be.
Well, it seems as if first we will potentially need to go to Mythalstreen, and I don't know if everyone else is going to immediately want to try and find him if we need to go to this hut.
Right. There are so many places we need to go, isn't there?
It's almost
Quite a
like
conundrum.
you won't possibly be able to go to all of them. For what it's worth, as the sun rises on this day, it feels like things are changing. It feels like every day that passes, these times, they're growing just a little bit more real. And perhaps they transition closer to an era, closer to an age. Every day counts. For what it's worth.
Are we walking back now with a bunch of treats, pastries
so
in hand?
If you go in there, not
Ori
pastries.
offers them to everybody except Billy.
No,
Instead, she
Alina
gets
doesn't
dirty
get
looks
it
for
either.
her.
One for Billy and then just drops it straight in Billy's food.
Alina doesn't get any either. Right?
It's breakfast sandwiches and muffins are sold at this place.
Muffins?
Muffins as well. Yeah.
Fucking muffins.
Fucking
baby.
muffins.
Gonna fuck these muffins up.
Muffins actually aren't even made in house, but for what it's worth, they do sell muffins.
What's
What
made
kind
in
of coffee
house?
drinks
The
does
breakfast
Ori,
sandwiches.
like, is he like a flat white guy, or?
I could see that.
Or he's a tea guy.
They don't have coffee here, right? They don't
Coffee
have.
is really new to Alberon.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
not.
I remember you
it's
telling
a-
about
it's
it.
a- it's
If
a-
Ori
it's a-
did
It's
have
underground.
coffee, it would
It's
probably be
underground
like
right now.
It's really
cowboy coffee.
Early days of Starbucks.
Black
Like he
Man
chokes
Elixir.
down cowboy coffee, even though he would prefer like a fancy latte or something.
He's a tea guy, but would drink the cowboy coffee on the road
Anyway, sorry.
for the energy.
So no, I think the drinks are an important thing, and you do bring some sandwiches back for the rest of the group. I would say this breakfast adventure mercifully allows everybody else to finish their long rest.
Right.
And you do in fact level up.
Damn, I missed the
I'm gonna
cutoff.
dominate the hell out of this monster.
7 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Bang, 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 bang. Get up, Alina.
So all of you now find your way to wakefulness.
99% ready to
It is the 15th of High Sun. You know that there are many things ahead of you, and as Val has speculated, quite a few different places to go. You have Crispy, who returns, granting you the various bits of diamonds, which, give me 1 second here. The little Revivify diamonds are all like small uncut diamonds, each in a white satin sachet that are like divided into castings of Revivify. So you could pull them out and like recombine them for something else, but they're easily separated.
Nice.
For the reincarnation, here someone has already gifted you the flower. You do get ground up rubies that are like a brilliantly deep red hue. These were nice stones that were just kind of ground, but you do get 50 gold pieces worth of them. And that is what you get.
Okay.
Hearsome would approach all of you as you sort of gather for these breakfast sandwiches that Ori has furnished you with, and would say, mostly to Billy and to Minka, when would you all like to go and get the rest of your supplies? Or are you ready to travel now? And where will you be going?
So...
Yes.
Valis, would you like to suggest a few places to the rest of the group?
Valis, with your memory returned, do you have a new destination in mind? New insights, perhaps?
I thought you said it was time is of the essence to go to the hut. I thought that's what we were preparing for.
Yes, but I have not heard what Valis has recovered. I can bring you as far as the Valley of Fireflies right now, if you wish.
Well, I do want those chalks, but...
So we could go to the valley. Other options, we could, based on what we learned in the library, it seems as though if we want to stop the Wake Peter flu, we would need to find Alernos, as he's seemed to be the cause of it and not Eshray. I don't think we know where he is right now. Another option is apparently the Madam of Dark Reflection has been interfering with us, and
I treated with her last night.
Why?
Because she has been watching us for a long time and is waiting for a response.
So you treated with her. What'd you promise her?
We owe her a debt because we destroyed her mirrors. And so I spoke with her.
What'd you promise her?
I did not promise her anything. I said that we needed to speak because she put you all in the arrangement.
Well, go on then.
she said that the price to erase the debt is for her to teleport us to a place probably on Mythostream and Portalis to steal the heart of a dying star that is currently being guarded by the Concord, the governing body of Portalis.
What do you mean, us?
She finds...
When?
She puts this debt on our group. She blames us for the destruction of her temple, the theft of the sword.
So
There was one more.
You talked to her too?
We chatted.
Here's some of this would
We
say,
woke up a little bit earlier.
I would do the same thing. It's wise to split the investment, as it were, in case some of you were to die.
I mean, we're all gonna die eventually.
Yes, but I mean prior to paying off your debt.
Oh, you know, that's fair.
Bringing people back to life to pay off a debt is burdensome.
You know, I would imagine it would be.
So, we can choose to steal this artifact, the Heart of a Dying Star, for the Madam of Dark Reflections, preferably today, because she is most likely listening right now and waiting for our answer. Or we decline the offer, and she will likely come back with less amicable terms.
What is the heart of a dying star?
She said that I would know it when I saw it.
Here's some. Do you know what a heart of a dying star is?
I have not the faintest idea.
Okay.
I'll go. And then the rest of you can go focused on other plans.
Mm-mm.
I
We're not
don't
splitting
know.
up at this point.
I don't think that going for that seems like a very safe endeavor.
Nothing we're gonna
Well, likely, yes. And thus, whatever it is that we do, we should do it together.
Okay, my thoughts are we deal with the more pressing issue of the big lady coming back. But as far as our debts go, should we survive this, then we can figure out how to repay her in good faith.
No, see, if we don't do this, ideally last night, but figured that it would be easier today, this morning, because she did say this morning was also okay. But past that, I do think it will become much more difficult to assuage the madam. Additionally, by leaving this, there is a chance that she will interfere with our success.
Oh, you don't need to worry about it being a chance. She will certainly interfere with your
I was
success.
trying to be...
There's a lot of reflecting pools in the swamps.
Well, and the basalt ribs, they reflect things as well.
Sounds like Hirsam's on board. Bill?
I said I'd go. I don't think the rest of you should.
Okay, Billy's on board.
We're not splitting up at this point. Okay, so a heart of a dying star is... She said it was Mythalstream. We've never been. How are we getting back and forth?
She didn't say it was Mythalstream. She just said the Concord, and the only Concord I know of.
Terms of the deal were rather sparse.
My concern right now is we're very pressed for time.
Oh, I am quite aware of that.
Josh, what do you think?
The story writes itself.
How long can it take to steal a star?
Okay, well...
And she said that this would clear
Absolve us of the debt.
Okay, so clearly it's something very powerful. If she's after us for a significant debt, then this will be no quick task. If it's that significant that she cannot do it herself and is not willing to send her own resources in to do it, I guess we are now her resources. But that means whoever is guarding it will probably be quite powerful.
And what happens if we get there and we discover that stealing it would do far more harm than good?
It's powering a NICU.
Powering a what?
A NICU.
like an ICU for babies.
Okay, how about this?
We got the heart of the dying star.
the children! Oh man, that would have been so much better.
Campaign 3! We have to get the heart of a dying star from the most evil people in this universe!
Fuck those wandering hearts.
Question then. Do we have enough time to go get our reagents and then maybe in that time frame try to see if anyone has ever heard of any of this so we have a little bit of information to go off of? Something that grand, surely someone.
Contact the madam if we are going to do this, and then we should have a little bit of time to prepare, I would imagine.
I can transport you via plants to just outside of Gleamroots if you wish. But then I will not be able to bring you back from wherever you go next.
I think I can take care of the way back.
Very well.
Same, honestly. We're pretty mobile. So Hirsam, if we go to do this, do you want us to just, call you when we're back so that we can, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep?
Yes, I'll be at Crispy's. This will hopefully not take very long.
All right, we're in. Let's go shopping.
Very well. Are you all ready?
To go shopping?
To go
Yes.
to Gleamroots?
Yeah.
Where is Gleamroots?
The facet of the Magus. And they stand up, and this huge, towering cedar archfey puts their hands on the table, which is made of wood. And though not living, there is a of this greenish magic that pulses into it, and you see little teeny tiny leaves just kind of stretch out. It is now living again. And they place their hands on the seam of the table, and they look up at all of you, kind of making sure that you're close enough, and they pull the table open, and there is this of green light that you know is transport by plants, and they clearly expecting you to hop into the table, say, "Come along now."
Hop.
Straight into this thing.
Dip my toe in. Straight ease myself down.
You dip your toe in, and it becomes like the Doctor Who opening
So
credits.
cold.
You're just sucked straight.
Sucked in like a wormhole.
You gotta acclimate.
Worst, it's warm.
Yeah, once you get it above the nips, then you're good to go.
It's quite cool.
I
I always feel like it's getting my wrists under the water because that's where you really like circulate blood. And so as long as I can get those cold, I'm pretty okay. But you all stand dropping through this table and emerge. You feel your kind of orientation shift as you walk forward. It's like you walk up and up and up. And then suddenly you stumble a little bit out and into the street, into sort of a cleft of the crystalline strata of the Emerald Spire. And it's darker here. You are somewhere deep within the facet of the Magus, and there is a little bit of glow that comes from this opening within this cleft. You can see almost like you are looking into the interior of a precision-cut gem. There is a number of the floating platforms on the inside of the space. They're connected by staircase of semi-translucent quartz. I would say, Minka, you can see like very distinct varietals of quartz that have been used in each separate staircase. You can see in this space as well, sort of the core of this chamber, there is a huge metallic device that spins with these other little rings of metal that spin around them. You also see the individual who is called Gleamroot. They are a construct that is multifaceted and made entirely of the same enchanted emerald as the spire. And you can see as they kind of turn to regard you, there is like dozens of facets, one smiling, one crying, one screaming, and then finally just a very polite, neutral look. It is the face of a human kind of transcribed across this magical emerald. And they speak very flatly, and as they do, it kind of echoes and reverberates, almost as if they speak from each facet at the same time. And they look past all of you to Hearsome, and they say, "You've returned." And Hearsome doesn't make eye contact with them, but just kind of gestures dismissively and says, "I've not returned, but these individuals wish to shop for some of your goods, if you can call them that. Please try not to convert them into stone." And Hearsome turns and like walks a couple steps back away from the store.
Convert us into stone.
Gleamroot turns to you. You see the face shifts, happy, crying, screaming, and then a very comforting look. And they say, "Don't concern yourself with Hearsome. A one-time accident, I assure you." And it's like 18 different voices coming from the different facets. They turn to gesture at all of you and they say, "Welcome, all of you, to Gleamroots. Please, browse my wares." And they step aside, and you can see behind them there are shelves of solid sapphire etched with glyphs. You can see they hold perfectly labeled vials of all different kinds of organic and inorganic matter. You see these glass orbs. I would say Valis in the Asanlock, they have some of these stasis vaults that keep things locked in time. They're almost like glass, like orbs that then have these openings that are almost like obelisks with no cap or cork. It just seems like a magical field that holds things in. You see there is a crystalline workbench in the back where there is like a grinding stone. There is just different cutting materials. And you can see behind that an entire counter of different reagents, all different kinds of things that you are all familiar with. I would say, Alina, you see some of the sort of magical gem dust that you might need.
Yeah.
You point. It is located between what looks like a pearl of condensed spell echoes. You can see like these arcane glyphs kind of floating and then being reabsorbed and then floating out in different forms. And then between this chunk of ore that glows softly with this magical potential that is stored within it and seems to almost like vibrate, though you hear nothing against the glass. There are all kinds of things. I would say, Billy, off in one corner you do see two large wooden baskets, and in them, kind of seeping through the cracks, you see sand. Not sand, but clay. Each of these almost square boxes hold what look to be opalized clay, that still in a very clay-like form, likely not reflective because of the way that it refracts light, might be something that you are interested in, although likely quite pricey. You also see opposite this big amount of different reagents, a counter full of different potions. You see a triangular prism full of like this violet-looking liquid. You see a levitating ring of interlocked crystals that kind of move around a single drop of oil on the inside. You can see all kinds of different potions here, and they look unlike anything that you've ever seen.
Man, I want to know all.
And Gleamroot just starts kind of going back to some of the paperwork that they were doing.
Excuse me, Gleamroot, could I purchase those chalks infused with jewels and such?
They turn to you, and the facets shift and shift and shift, and then they are smiling. And they say, "Of course. How much would you like?"
How much you got?
They turn, they float across this space, and they go and take elements of these things out and put them into these little sachets, kind of weighing them out. The construct's arms has no fingers, but as these elements of gems kind of drift forward, the items begin to manipulate as if invisible fingers like turn them and twist them very dexterously. And after weighing these out, they say, 300 gold pieces for each serving. I have 3.
Okay. Privately, Alina's gonna be like, that is a significant markup.
Yes, it is.
Well, I guess I'll just buy one. And maybe before we leave, I might take a couple more off your hands, but let's see whether anybody else wants it.
They look at you and they say, I assure you this is better than anything else you've ever used.
She kind of like does the cocaine taste test thing.
Insight check.
Make an Arcana check. Make an Insight check.
Are there any neat-looking like weapons of any sort?
So potions and reagents.
Just potions and reagents.
The potions are very abstract looking, and so some of them at first look kind of like weapons. You see what looks like maybe a crystal hilt, but it is actually just like a lipstick-sized lacquered vial that's been encrusted with other smaller cut gems. It seems to have liquid in it. It's just another potion. You do see that there is something labeled hex wine. Not a weapon, but alcoholic perhaps. You do see a shard of smoky crystal that it's only about this big, but looks very sharp. Nothing weapon looking really, though.
So my insight check was a grand total of 12.
With a 12, hard to tell.
Yeah.
I got a 16 for Arcana.
With a 16, there is something to this that is more than the kind of gem dust. There might be a chance that when you use this, it doesn't get used.
Ooh.
And so part of the markup might be that this could potentially last a little bit longer. From a mechanical standpoint, there's a 50% chance that it doesn't get used.
That's pretty good. Alina's like, I gotta hand it to you. This really is top quality stuff. Tuck, tuck, tuck.
Did you
How
make
much
all
for the
these
hex
shelves?
wine?
They nod, and they say, all the products of my experimentation.
Oh, you have truly an eye. These are wonderful.
And Mika's not looking at the objects, she's looking at the shelves.
Absolutely. And the shelves are each one. This entire place, it's like very sparse. It's like a lot of floor and walls. But each shelf and each step is a showcase of craftsmanship it's almost like carpentry being done with crystal. And you can see places where there's no way that it could have been like dovetailed. You can't dovetail crystal.
Yeah.
And you recognize elements of this has been like grown in very much the same way as the spire. It is absolutely wonderful, and this will be lost on many people, not on you. This is unlike anything that you've ever seen.
Nice.
Billy's perusing the potion reagents section.
Yeah.
And looking for stuff to create healing potions.
How much for the hex wine?
So you look for stuff for healing potions. You know enough to find this without any real issue amongst a couple different compartments. You can pull stuff together. What kind of healing potion are you trying to make? Because as you look, there is stuff that you've only theoretically had access to. You could make probably superior healing potions if you wish.
I'll ask after Ori finishes his hex
Functionally,
wine.
half price of a potion you can buy the reagents for in the shop. Your question was, how much is the hex wine?
Yes.
They pull up a jagged crystal vial filled with this dark red liquid, and as they move it, it glows faintly. And as they move it sort of away from the shelf, it stops glowing.
Oh.
And they say, 8,000 gold pieces. It is not just for the beverage. Until it is consumed, it will glow. And they move it back towards the shelf, and it glows again. And they say, when presented near cursed items.
Ah. That's very useful. I was going to offer it to a friend of mine as a gift, but that's a bit steep for my blood.
Well, upon consuming it, aside from the alcohol, it will deal massive damage
To the
in
drinker?
conjunction with your next attack.
Ah.
If you know somebody who is prone to cursing individuals,
Mm.
this is likely to provide boosts to their hex-like abilities.
Ah. No, I don't think I know anyone.
They set it back down on the shelf.
Billy's ears are like twitching and burning.
Did we hear that?
Oh yeah, so like
Can you
their
explain
voice,
that?
as it goes in these multifaceted ways, so like you're hearing it from this very pleasant voice, you're hearing it like, yes, it causes a heck. Like each voice is speaking in a slightly different way, but it also makes it really hard to not eavesdrop on them. They project their voice towards each of you unintentionally.
So
Speakers
at
everywhere.
that, once Ori's like, no, I don't know anybody, Alina to Billy, like, in a whisper, is going to be like, dude, you have got to make nice with him.
Do you have anything a little less expensive, like gift-wise? Alcohol?
They look at you, and the smiling face switches over to a frown, and they say, "This is not a bar. This is a shop of mystical and wonderful oddities.
I've had
I have potions that will refract your presence. I have some that may harmonize the weave. I have others that may give you the breath of a dragon."
Billy comes
Do
over
they
with
taste good?
ingredients for 6 standard
Oh.
healing potions and just pops them down.
Okay, you pop those down, and you can exchange money for goods.
Does anything in particular catch Cheshire's attention?
Cheshire.
Everything.
Besides the obvious, like
Besides the
Everything is
Cheshire's
shiny.
like ogling it, like just little pieces, just each individual.
You see a lipstick-sized lacquered vial encrusted with little cut gems. When you hold it up, it almost looks like a rhinestone-encrusted thing of lipstick, but it's stoppered. And when you kind of pop that off, you can see that there is a little bit of a potion in it. And they put both of their hands, these kind of emerald crystals, over yours, and weirdly you feel fingers of force kind of close around and kind of recork this thing. And they say, "Be careful. This is a potion of weaponized charisma.
Uh-oh.
It is quite difficult to procure.
How much?
6,000 gold pieces.
Sorry, buddy.
But it will allow you to attack using your charisma instead of something like brute strength. It might also allow you to deal additional damage in certain situations."
Probably better save for somebody else anyway.
They incline their head and place it back on the shelf.
Then
Go ahead.
Billy points at the boxes of clay.
Okay. You point over at the reagents and they say,
900,000 gold.
"You wish to purchase opalized mud?"
Yes.
They nod. 500 gold pieces for each basket.
And Joe, would Billy be able to see the size of how much mud is per basket?
So you would imagine 500 gold pieces in any construction will be 500 gold pieces worth of that material.
Okay.
And so they are telling you there is 1,000 gold pieces worth of this material.
Okay.
When combined with other gems or things, could perhaps make a non-reflective bowl.
If one were to get 500 gold pieces of this clay and mix it with mythical bones, would that equal 1,000?
If the bones are mythical enough.
Do you need money?
Money can be exchanged for goods and
Yeah,
services.
I heard that.
But
If Alina notices Billy looking at it, Alina will be like, dude, I can spot you.
Also, Mega didn't spend the money on the oil, so she has extra cash that she does not use.
you could also ask Ori.
Billy knows the answer.
Do you accept anything else as
American
payment
Express.
besides
For everything else, there's MasterCard.
currency?
I
Or
am
do you,
always
or
on
do you
the
buy
lookout
anything?
for rare reagents that I am not in possession of. Believe it or not, there are several. For instance, I am running low on condensed spells. I have very little spell glass left in my inventory as well.
So, do we... Oh,
What
sorry.
is... Sorry, go ahead.
With all the money that Billy has now, Billy buys 2 boxes of the opalized mud, and enough for 6 standard potions of healing, and 1 potion of greater healing.
Excellent. Mark off that gold. Half price for the healing potions, and then you're buying both boxes? 1,000 gold pieces for
In case
2
something goes wrong.
big old boxes of clay.
What is condensed spells and what is spellglass? Do I know what that is?
I would say no.
Okay, can I ask him
Yeah.
what are those?
I would say condensed spells are pure concentrated elements of force, arcane residue that has been left behind. It is hard to find and must be captured in the instant after casting by a specialist. Spellglass is produced in Ganon, to the north.
I pull out one of those arrows with the glass in it. Hannah doesn't remember where it came from, but that's ringing a bell.
Candlestick Forest.
No, I mean, we.
That came from the
The herring gun that I
They
had.
look at
yeah.
this
I meant we
arrow.
looked at it and we knew it came from somewhere.
a
But
glass-like head, a almost rainbow-looking wood. It looks like watercolors across it. And they say, rainbow sap. I have not seen that in some time, and never in a hardened form.
is it useful to you?
It is.
what do you
I've
offer?
got 3 of them.
What do you got for me? Name
What
your
would you trade
price.
for 3? And she's making eyes at the chalks, but she doesn't want to tip her whole hand.
If you are looking for gold, I can offer you 1,500 pieces of gold.
How about
1,505.
those remaining 2 bags of the chalks with the jewels, and then the remainder in gold.
Very well.
Thanks.
They go and gather up. I'm having trouble with math. 900. So 900 pieces of gold you can add to your inventory along with the rest of that chalk.
Thank you. I did make a profit. Look at me
Nice.
go.
It's good thing
Been
we
carrying those around for a long time.
Yeah.
Most things that are like pretty unique have a place that they will be worth more and a place that they will be worth substantially less.
Clean Root, would you be willing to, mayhaps one day take an apprentice for how you crafted these?
And she's still like head like now like looking at the most ornate shelf, just like head tilted, just like really examining it.
They would turn and look at you.
What's an apprentice?
You get the sense that they're making an insight check. They're really kind of taking the measure of you, and in this moment, how confident do you feel that you could be their apprentice?
I think she'd be feeling about 70-30. Like she really wants to learn this, and she knows if she puts her mind to it, she probably could. But she also is mentally acknowledging that she has other responsibilities in her life.
Okay.
That this might not be actually an option.
Perhaps.
If we live, maybe.
And you get the sense that that's a little bit what was implied.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, while we're here...
Billy lays out 3
Puts-
bottles.
For mud.
Tempest Fiend blood, Storm Snake oil, and Dire Croak poison. Boop, boop, boop.
They would take the kind of gem-like hand and just kind of shuffle the dire croak poison back to you. But the other 2, certainly interesting. So I know the storm snake.
Snorm. Snorm Snake.
We have a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right, we have a barrel of that.
I thought we had a barrel of thunder.
Yeah,
grumble.
We also have a
It's like a pony keg of that
barrel
stuff.
of storm snake poison. Yeah.
For that?
The whole barrel?
Billy just put out a vial. She's got like a little.
I also
for just,
have,
for just like a
bottle.
little
We have
vial?
Yeah.
I mean, for like a little vial, probably like 5 gold pieces, which is still pretty good. For that full barrel, doing like the quick mental math, they'd probably give you like 200 gold for that whole barrel. What was the other thing?
Tempest Fiend blood.
Tempest Fiend blood. Let me see.
We're still having a fucking shopping.
I
We
know.
tried our
You
best.
can't avoid it.
I know.
They good sense.
At least it happened after the level up and not before.
And they would offer you only 100 gold for the Tempest Fiend's blood.
I'll take it. I've been
There you go.
keeping it around since I died.
There you go.
Would this be of any use to you? And I take out the Arclight cube from the underground prison.
Okay. Where did you get that?
From the Underdark. It is a Arclight cube.
Valis, you don't think we should maybe keep that?
What
Do we plan to go back down
would
there?
you like for the Arclight reagent?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I have never seen one, and I would like to take it apart.
You said that hex wine can detect if something is cursed. Would you make that trade?
Yes. They go.
Inside check.
Make an insight
Is it
check.
a good deal?
Insight check.
I want to see.
All the people who run scams are just like, no.
This guy's
I only
ripping us
got a
off
14.
hundo percent.
14. Yes, you could make this deal.
Oh, I gotta check my modifier. Hold on.
Cool.
It's a good roll.
30, okay.
So I guess the whole group is giving me
25!
looks. So I guess I'll look to the group and be like,
We're like, wait.
Question
With
mark?
a 25, Valis just came in and was like, I have an authentic Ming vase. Could I get a Big Mac?
Billy's just like, way more. Way more. It's
And
like
Ori.
in the back.
You get the sense that just based on how you have heard the economy of scale work in the store, and how quick they were to
He's
say
gonna
yes,
sell
of
that
course.
shit for
And
like,
they mentioned
20,000
8,000
gold.
gold as if that was nothing.
yeah, this guy's like 50,000 gold for this thing. They can the whole thing.
50,000 is pretty spot on. That's pretty
Billy's like
close to
making
what
like
you're
the
imagining.
lipsticky thing.
Valis, I think we might have more use for that later.
Are you giving Valis a look? Like
We were going to give that to my aunt.
You can
Remember?
see the facets on their face quickly shift and shift and shift, and it goes from like happy to sad to like very distressed, and then again to happy. But for those of you who rolled above 25, the distressed face facing you entirely right now, and that seems to be the most animated one. But the happy one to you says, "I would be interested in offering more, perhaps. What else would you like?"
We would probably need. This is very important to our great aunt. So, it's practically a family heirloom.
I'm confused. I thought it was from the Underdark.
I'm from the Underdark.
I was gonna say, people can be from the
They
Underdark,
turn-
I said
sir.
practically a family heirloom.
They look to you
Not
and they say,
actually.
"Where did you acquire this?"
The Underdark.
And Billy just like steps forward and is like, we'll tell you the story once we hear the full offer.
It was after a danger slide.
Good God.
Dangerous. You can see the terrified and the happy face shift and shift and shift, and then confusion, and then shift right back to that neutral face. And they say, "I can offer you 20,000 gold pieces in total, in-store credit."
I think at this point
We
Nico would
travel
just be
quite
like,
a lot, unfortunately.
Billy's just like looking around at literally all of the magic things and is like, because we can come back here and we have a stamp card. Can we get that in writing?
Very well.
Are we?
Wait, what?
What? Wait a sec. I have
That's-
misgivings.
No. I think this is worth more than that. I'm just
And we
going to
can-
tell you outright.
They turn to you. It shifts briefly to distress, but then to almost like an impressed face. And they say, "You drive a hard bargain. 40,000 gold pieces. And that is my final
45,000.
offer."
And that is my final offer.
How much is 40,000
We have a
gold
chance. If you wish. Perhaps we can do business at a different time.
40,000 sounds lovely. I'm sure my aunt won't miss it much.
We can get your aunt something.
Yes,
Turn to
her
you,
retirement will still be
and
just as
they
nice.
say, "I would not want to cause a problem amongst your family."
It's fine, really.
We can get her something from the
Material
store with the
goods.
store credit.
She will have a
I
long and healthy
suppose
life.
if you are willing to make a few additional purchases, that is acceptable.
I'm sure we can find something around here. Well, why don't we
Superior
hand
healing
it over?
potion!
Okay. So you go, are you just buying a straight up superior healing potion?
40,000.
Or the reagents.
Oh, but if there's a reagents, there's a chance we don't get it because we failed the crafting check.
Oh.
Billy will take a full-on a single superior healing potion
Okay.
to hold to Minka.
Can you tell us how much is the stasis cube?
The stasis cube, you point at the... Give me 1 second here. Okay. When you say stasis cube, you're talking about the... Not the refresher presence.
The thing from the awesome lock? I might
Oh,
misnamed it.
Sorry, yeah, the stasis cube. They would turn and pull out this little elixir thing, and they would come over to you and Valis with the stasis cube. There is just these little kind of like shards of things in them, and they would say, "What level are you looking for?"
Do I know what he means by that?
I would say as you look closer, in the stasis cube is the last remaining of their spell glass stock. And spell glass works very similarly to a spell scroll. Just a one use kind of infused with magic. And you can see there are a few lesser shards that are worth maybe a first or second spell. But then there are a few that are a little higher in this pile.
Are they like blank spell
No,
glass?
these are spells already cast into them.
Oh, could I identify what spells are in them by looking at them or making an Arcana
Make
check?
an Arcana check.
There's some tape on the side in Sharpie that has them all written.
With
You know
detect
it's a
magic
professional
spell?
They're
potion
smudged.
place. if
Yeah,
it's,
detect magic would just tell you what they are.
trimmed
Oh, I'll just
nicely.
do that.
Okay. With detect magic, you do note that there are 2 6th level spell shards in here. These are high level bits of magic. One of them is a casting of Disintegrate. Another one is a casting of a spell that is called Frozen Sphere. Both of these very high levels of magic. I would say you get the school with that.
Yeah.
That's evocation and transmutation.
And those are the only 2 in there?
That are 6th level, yeah. There's 5th level ones as well. You can see the 5th level's one is a casting of Bigsby's Hand. And then there are a few 4th level spell slots as well. There is Dominate Beast, and there is Stone Skin.
The stone skin, I wouldn't need the reagents for that, right? I can just use it.
No, you just shatter this and I cast it, and I cast it as a bonus action.
Oh,
I'll take the hex one.
how much for that? the stone skin?
For Stone Skin, a 4th level spell, that would be 3,200 gold pieces.
Okay. Anything else in there?
Just an assortment
level?
of like lower level, yeah. So 1st level spells, 50 gold pieces. Second level spells, 300 gold pieces, and it gets higher from there. So what is there a spell that you're looking for in particular?
Let's. I did not come prepared with this.
Billy also grabs the thing that Cheshire was playing with and puts it on the counter with all of our other purchases.
The little lipstick thing?
Yeah.
The potion of weaponized charisma is 6,000 gold pieces. The hex wine was 8,000. There is something called the Edge of Echoes, which is this shard of smoky crystal. They would explain to you that this modifies sneak attacks to deal psychic damage instead of regular damage, and you can use it twice a turn. This potion lasts for about a minute. There is a potion that is called the Draft of Crystalline Skin, where your skin becomes like crystal for 10 minutes, gaining many different resistances, as well as dealing radiant damage to those who would strike you. There is the Sapphire Void Breath Drought, which will give you a Dragon Breath-like attack for force damage.
We'll take the lot.
The Elixir of Harmonized Weaves would be something that would be very helpful for a sorcerer. It would give you the ability to change around the way that metamagic works. For anybody who casts magic, it would give you the ability for an hour to cast 2 concentration spells at once. There is the Potion of Refracted Presence, which...
How much is that last one?
That last one's 10,000 gold pieces. Believe it or not, pricey to be able to break the game like that.
Yeah.
There is the Potion of Refracted Presence, which works very similarly to Mirror Image. And then when you get up into the reagents, there's Opalized Mud, which Billy bought. There's Thematic Ore, which replaces any costly material component. There is the Spellglass Shards. There is a Resonant Pearl, which is formed from condensed spell echoes. This can also be used as a sorcery point, even if you are not a sorcerer. There is Fractalin Dust, which is something that can add 1 to the DC of a single spell cast while holding this little potion.
While holding it, you don't have to drink it?
No, but the dust disappears. It was absorbed into the skin.
You sprinkle it on top of yourself.
You can do it that way if you want. Yeah, you can take it however you want. It just needs skin contact. A lot of different kinds of skin. So those are the different items.
That roguey sneak attack twice a turn, was that a one use? You said it was a potion?
It is a potion.
How long does it last?
That is the Edge of Echoes. And sorry, it's not a potion technically. It's a sublingual. It's a little crystal that you put under your tongue and it
I heard crystal, I was right! Sorry.
In it, when you put it under your tongue, it hums softly until it dissolves. For 1 minute, your sneak attack deals psychic damage. Your sneak attack can happen twice a turn. Once as your reaction when triggered by an enemy and once as normal. And then when you move, leave behind a ghostly echo of your movement, which gives you advantage on stealth checks during this effect.
You're so proud of yourself.
Was right.
That particular potion would be, that particular item would be 7,500 gold pieces. And that lasts for 1 minute.
I don't love those single use because then I always end up just holding on to them forever and never actually using them.
But then you get to sell it like
Sure.
the Tempest Fiend would.
I'm being told that we're going to go on break and we'll finish this shopping trip. So no, but it is a good time for a break. So because it is 8:45, we'll step away for a quick break and we will return with the shopping trip a little bit more fast forwarded. We'll be back in just a little bit. Okay. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. If you did, if not, you are back, and we are playing D&D. And for all of you, you have figured out what you would like to purchase. Any other purchases?
So we're gonna get 2 like bottles of the hex wine. I guess Alina will keep one and Balas is taking the other. And then you wanted a superior healing potion.
Which will be purchased.
Yep.
So.
Anything else?
That, as you guys are like, oh, we got like our things. You turn around, Valis is holding like everything.
Like
Valis is taking. He's holding just a big handful of broken glass. It's all like glowing and radiating different colors. And then just like a bunch of other things, potions. Yeah.
Is all of that coming out of the 40k?
I think some of it is. I will pay 150 gold for the 3 shields, but I'll put like
3
the
shields.
See, Invis, Warning, Wind, and Tongues on the
Group tab.
group tab,
Okay.
on the store credit.
So we've got 16
bought
grand for the
3
hex wine,
shields?
500 for superior, and then...
Yeah, I'm putting the 500 gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you mark it off that you have the item?
Yep.
I think that's 150 from Valis.
AC 35.
All right. We can settle up out of the cash later on.
Yeah.
And I will take the rest in gold.
So wait, did we buy any other big pieces besides the 2 hex things?
The
Oh, the
The
hills?
weaponized
6,000
charisma.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
6,000 for the
Weaponized
lipstick.
charisma.
The crystal sublingual? We buying that?
If you are buying that, that
Oh.
is 7,500 gold.
We'll buy one.
Do you want it or no?
I mean, I would rather save my portion of the 7,500 gold for like not a one-use thing.
This shop is all really just one-use things. and
Yeah.
reagents,
That's
though.
why.
And it's store credit, so it's kind of
not-
like
I
it's
feel
not
like the
gold that
yeah.
we're getting back.
I guess it is in store
Oh,
credit,
good
so
point,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess we might as well just get one.
They literally don't have like a lot more
That
gold
makes sense.
on
Yeah.
the person. They would have to be like, come back in 2 days.
I can
I
get you
will
the money, I
liquidate
promise.
some of my
We're
assets.
trying to do the thing where
good for
we
it.
put all of our inventory to sell
Actually,
and buy it, and we
I've got
only have
16
400
carpets.
cap.
Does he have any like rare gems that are worth a lot that we can just kind of buy with the store
We
credit?
just buy a
Not
bunch
gems,
of diamonds
no.
and then crush them up.
Okay.
Different store for gems.
Okay.
And it's not like, I mean, you know, it's in the Emerald Spire.
Yeah,
so-
you guys can always come back.
So what is
Are we
this
settled
thing?
up?
The
You were settled up?
sublingual?
Is everyone else doing the math to settle up?
Well, we were just
Not
going to do
right
it
now.
after because...
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll do it
there's
after.
no point in doing it
Yeah,
now.
you have the gold to do it.
Thank you, Gleamrot, for all of the things that you have given us.
Right.
Gleamroot.
They
Enjoy
nod.
that arc light. It is definitely one
And they
of a
nod, and
kind.
already they're kind of like holding with these 2 big, almost like, you know, the iron golems in Minecraft? Their arms are like that. There's these big swinging pinions of emerald, and then delicately it just kind of floats between them. But they nod. They don't even answer. They're already kind of consumed with this object, and you make your way out.
All right.
Here's some turns to all of you as you exit, and they say, well, I hope that was illuminating for all of you. Are you ready? And where are we going?
Well, I think we've got a little errand to take care of, right? And then we'll be back in touch when we're ready to go find the hut.
I'm going to contact the madam now.
And here's some walks away.
Um,
Bye, buddy.
perhaps it's better if just I deal with her. Like, more for the fact that she is probably already here. And,
So what does it matter if she's sending all of us?
You don't want any backup?
it's not backup, it's just accepting the terms, but I don't want any of you to screw it up. I'm not
Delicately put.
sorry.
Excellent.
Billy like walks down the
I'm gonna-
stairs. Billy walks away.
Okay.
Don't we need to? Okay. I guess I follow Billy,
No,
and as I follow
just take out the fucking mirror
Alina
key.
is gonna have Rez go invisibly just kind of listen.
Okay.
I took out the mirror key already.
Okay. Yeah, you take out the mirror key. As you pull out this weapon,
reflect it towards
you reflect it once or twice, and then on the third time, this bulbous eye just gazes back between these layers of black fabric. The kind of almost feathered hat just provides almost like eyelashes across this thing. And they look at you and they say, "Is it time?"
Madam of Dark Reflections, I accept your terms. In exchange for retrieving the light of a fallen star, the heart of a fallen star,
The heart of a dying
the
star.
heart of a dying star.
You're not there.
You simply call it
That's
the
Cara telling
Ashlock
Matt.
Core.
In
Oh,
exchange for retrieving the Ashlot core, you absolve us of all our debt and vow not to harm us directly or indirectly with your actions going forward.
They move, and you can see for just a moment their arms and their hands, and they hold this large metallic canister, and they repeat your words. And at the end of them, as they do, they push this canister towards the reflection, and this blade stretches to accommodate it. And it's large. It's huge. As it drops out, this adamantine canister probably weighs close to 50 pounds. It's about this big. You can put your whole hands around it. You
I
could have
see.
sagged down just a little bit. And as they say, "We'll absolve you of your debts, provided, of course, you can carry it. This canister will hold the heart, but the heart itself weighs near 500 pounds. Are you ready to go? And keep in mind, should you fail to retrieve this, you, Ori, will work for me. And immediately shall come to Mythelstream and serve my ends."
Where exactly are we to bring it?
As soon as it is within that canister, return to the Shard of Mirror, and I will bring you back.
Do we know where the Shard of Mirror is?
She had mentioned that the warlock had put something into this chamber
Oh,
to
okay,
give her
so
access.
that's-
You would
okay.
imagine that as like a piece of a mirror.
Cool. I accept the terms.
Call your friends.
Come on out, everyone who didn't leave or did leave.
Hey, Alina,
Yeah.
come on back.
Oh, okay. I guess Alina will go back in and be like, "Okay, what's
And you can see Ori is holding this mirror blade, and on it is the madam. And also, Ori is holding a huge adamantine canister.
Is he holding it or is it on the ground now?
It's on the ground now, I would imagine.
I set it down.
hello, madam?"
You all sort of gather around.
Does anyone have a way to carry something 500 pounds?
Oh yeah, I pick it up.
Would it fit in the bag of holding with all the other
You
crap we have in
hoist this.
there?
It's heavy.
Oh,
500 pounds, pretty substantial.
and how much does
That's only
the
50
star
pounds.
weigh?
Well, that's
That
only
goes-
50.
Sorry, this is 50 pounds.
That's only 50
You
pounds.
said, I don't know why, you said 500 pounds.
500
as well.
pounds is how much the star weighs.
Correct. And so for 50 pounds, you can lift this up. For you with your strength score, you can hoist this up pretty easily. But
That's
if
fine.
this is going to be filled with 500 pounds of stuff,
So
you won't be able to hold a sword or a shield while you're
10
carrying
times
this.
that.
Okay.
If somebody is going to be carrying this on their person, that's kind of all they'll be doing, with their hands at least.
Would it fit in the bag of holding?
It will take 500 pounds worth of space in a bag of holding. Well, 550 pounds.
Would the plan
But
be
in
to
theory-
just carry it and then perhaps use teleportation magic to leave Mythelstream?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Billy looks at the sword. Is she still there?
Yes, she is.
Would that work?
She says it would, but you could also just make your way back to the Shard of Mirror on the ground and I'll bring you back myself.
That was also part of it.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I
And
just
then you can take
figured
it from us
if we
then?
do have to carry it, it might be
We just need to
less
bring it
helpful.
to the shard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then we'd come back here?
You just need to remove it from that chamber.
Would we come back to this location, or would we come back somewhere else?
I can bring you back here, but wherever you go,
Oh,
I should be able to find you.
Closer to our next destination.
I mean, like, we're gonna go there, and then on the way back, would we...
We'll figure it out.
Did your agent
I
have...
just want to know where we're ending up.
If we get to choose.
If we get to choose, that's, sure. That'll help.
Did your agent learn anything about the place? Any information that would help us succeed?
You may gaze upon this room for a moment before you move. But once you begin to look, you begin to travel. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Ori, you feel your hands almost move on their own accord. It is this weapon just shifting, just turning. And as it turns and you see along the other side of this blade, you are looking into a different space.
Oh, fuck.
Let me pull out a visual perspective for all of you.
Paper towels.
Oh, you got it good!
Got him!
Got him, boys!
Got him. Clink.
I finished my drink and I'm so thankful.
I said, we got him, boys. Clink. For those at home.
So, sweetie, how much did you spend on spells?
6,587 gold pieces.
300, 700, 1,300.
Star chart.
So,
So far.
I'll do the math and then just stick the store credit like in the bag of holding.
Camera will be able to see everything. It's just a little heavy, so be cautious.
Is that it?
I love
that
how
it right
heavy
there?
it is.
So you can see on the staircase, there is a single shard of mirror. And it would be only about the size of a sliver of a broken bottle. It's a little bigger so you can see it on the encounter map. But it is the kind of thing that could be pushed out through the bottom of a pocket. It could be just kicked off the bottom of an embedded shoe. This would be very easy to drop here. It is the only reflective surface in this entire chamber. You look upon roughed marble floors, roughed stone walls. It is like this has been built to keep this reflection magic out. You can see down the set of staircase, there is a ring of arcane glyphs that glow with this very foreboding looking magic. And then down that staircase, there is a marble floor. You can see these statues of angelic figures that seem arcane as well. You can see through this shard, past these pillars, this table. And in the center of this table, you see the heart of a dying star. This green, black, kind of glowing, molten bit of metal that floats just above the table. You see it is standing, or kind of floating right next to a huge mound of golden pieces. You see a golden crown. You see cups and chalices, just a mound of treasure, essentially. And then behind that, you can see a table with assorted gems. You can see huge diamonds the size of fists in this crate. You can see other sort of objects beyond. You see scrolls kind of off. This is sort of a treasury, very sparse. And then up the staircase, you can hear sounds of just people talking, just in hushed tones. You also note that down here, there are a number of people. You can see a minotaur that appears to be in like this very heavy but dulled armor. They carry a shield, they carry a sword. They are very much on guard and seem to be just turning every couple of minutes, just looking about the room. Some of the voices are coming from this tiefling that is a little bit closer to the stairs. At the moment, you can hear them talking to these other two humans, just showing off the sword that they are holding. And then way off and in the corner, you see another human who is wearing these whitish robes with these reddish embroidered embellishments that feature iconography almost of fire. And that is what you see.
I'll say to the group, if we can not.
And then you
kill-
feel yourself begin to move. For as you look, so too do you travel. As you teleport out of the space, all 6 of you appear within 5 feet of that kind of shard. Are you trying to be quiet?
Bonus action.
Where's the shard?
It's on,
It's on the staircase.
It's on the staircase.
it's
right
like
there.
just on the other
Can
side.
I activate flight very, very quickly so that I don't clatter onto the stairs, but instead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we get time to get off a spell, or is this?
So everybody gets a chance to do one thing. Billy, what are you doing?
Billy's casting blur.
Okay. Billy, as you fall through this space, it's like several Billies emerge, kind of flickering in and out of several of the different stairs. Alina, what are you doing?
Is it like a turn or is it just one action?
Just one thing.
Okay. Activate flight. Is it?
All right. You activate flight. Instead of stumbling out, you kind of pop off and just appear floating above these stairs.
Doing my
For you, Minka?
not to make an entrance.
Okay.
Just
I think Minka would hold her breath and just kind of brace herself for a landing.
Okay, you hold your breath and brace yourself for a landing. You land upon the staircase. For you, Ori,
Sneak.
make a stealth check. The only person hiding.
Is it
I'm not.
So far,
sorry.
I'm going
I'm
around
just
the
trying to
table
be
here.
quiet.
is it dim light
a 30,
or
by
darkness?
the way.
No, this is bright light.
You're so
You
good.
still have
at
advantage,
it.
But I
though.
still have advantage, yeah. I just am wondering for the purposes of
Dice.
flight.
Story tonight.
I put over my
I believe
magical
it's
censorship
a
bar, I'm
23.
Okay, 23. You don't feel super, super hidden. And then Valis, what about you?
I'll cast Bless.
You cast Bless on who?
I think probably everyone except for Cheshire. Sorry, Cheshire.
You can't see Cheshire, anyways.
Logical decision.
Proactively
You
get
can't see
the bless.
Cheshire,
I
therefore.
have to see one thing about Bless. Da-da-da-da. You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Doesn't even be able to see them. So yeah, you can absolutely bless Ori as well. You cast Bless. Cheshire, you hide, kind of flattening yourself off as you try to step backwards, but feel the magical momentum propel you through the space anyways. All of you appear in this space, and with the passive perception being well high enough to tell 4 people just appearing on the staircase above them, even with one flying, you see the tiefling look up. And you can see they smile, and they draw their sword, and they say, "For the Concord!" And they rush forwards, and I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Damn, I hope we're not about to kill a bunch of really, important.
They're probably evil.
This
I mean,
feels
it's all the way in Mythoscreen. You'll never have to deal with the consequences of
No,
that.
never.
As these characters know.
This is-
is happening in
this is 100%
Oh, no.
us choosing
Look
to
at the
take
boys.
this problem now, or we take this problem later.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe there's a
optimism.
front
rest of the
loader.
I do like it front on.
Come for us. So anyway, I start reading this book that
reagents.
Alice gave me. Seems like a good time to read.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So, anybody natural 20?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. So, yeah.
Is that why you guys?
Yeah, of course. You have Ori followed by Valis, I assume, just based on
That is-
probability.
Correct.
25 to 20.
It's quite probable.
Oh, 22.
22 for Billy. 20 to 15.
18.
18 for Cheshire. 15 to 10. 10 to 5?
Oh, boy.
7.
Oh, man. 7 for Minka, and then 6 for Alina. So the way that this works,
That's what we
Ori is going to be starting us off, then Valis, then Billy, then the heroes, then Cheshire, then the guards, then Minka, and then at the
heroes.
very end of the day, Alina.
You mean the fucking dirty scoundrels?
So Ori, you are hidden up on the staircase. You are like up on the stairs proper. You flatten yourself against the wall. You can see 5 feet beyond. There is just a like 15 to 20 foot drop down to the floor if you wish. There is also this magical circle that seems to glow even brighter as action begins. What are you
To the
doing?
right.
There's like
right at
a-
the bottom right there, yeah. On the landing.
It's this classic
Classic
situation.
situation.
Yeah.
One day I'll be at the other side.
Is it a? It's probably a rune trap that I've gotten.
What are you doing, Ari?
relatively familiar with. Where is my meme?
We're all just on the glass, right? So we can just.
All of you are within 5 feet of the glass, with the exception
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Alina, who could be, in theory, up to 10 feet off the staircase if they wish. 'Cause they're flying.
This goes up. Does the ceiling also go up?
It does. It rises up and up and up. Where that staircase is, it goes an additional 10 feet beyond that.
Okay.
Up there is a doorway, and that is where these voices and muted tones are coming from.
So really high ceilings.
Yes.
So I'm coming up here as I am hidden.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire one off down at the guy that has gotten the attention.
Okay. You fired off at the tiefling who is down at the bottom.
Yes.
What's his name? We have an unnamed sibling in progress.
Unnamed sibling? I like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be
It adds
a...
more trauma to the backstory.
30 to hit.
With a 30, that is absolutely going to hit.
Alright, let's sneak attack. And I'm gonna make it a whatchamacallit? Frightening attack.
Okay. Menacing.
Menacing attack, yeah. He becomes frightened.
I like frightening attack though.
We are the bad guys.
Yeah. I figure, yeah. I just switched it so it's fitting.
What kind of save?
It's a wisdom save.
Okay.
And
That is going to be an 18.
18, I believe, is a Mitsujutsu.
Okay.
But he's still taking... damage equal to this. So that's gonna be... Oh, those are good numbies.
Excellent.
So...
Very good numbies. Can confirm.
39 points of magical piercing damage.
Very nice. 39 points of magical piercing damage. As a reaction, they're going to Misty Step. Just disappearing, taking this damage. And they are going to appear. What? Up. Well,
Yeah.
they can't make it all the way up to you. So they're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They're going to end up right about here. I don't think I can put them down there, so they're going to be right there. But Ori,
Like right around where the glass is.
Misty Step right around where the glass is, just 10 feet above.
Okay.
So they actually do not see you, Cheshire. They are like 5 feet away from where you are. You can see for just a moment their head turns. They glance behind and catch sight of the rest of the party, but then they turn back to you and they point the blade at you. You can see as they coalesce in this space, it is like elements of the arcane force forms armor across their body, and they get just a little bit more sturdy, and they get ready to fight you. But that is their reaction. Anything else, Ori?
Yeah, bonus action, quick toss. I'm gonna throw a fucking dagger at him.
Absolutely.
Can I preemptively dodge a knife in case
Oh, it's probably
he
fine.
misses?
It's probably fine. Yeah. That's like, another 30.
Another 30, that absolutely hits.
So that's not a sneak attack. That's gonna be another 17 points of throwing knife piercings. Magical.
Throwing knife piercing damage, it does the full amount that you would expect, which is shocking considering it doesn't exist as a damage type. But absolutely.
It's a 2024 rule.
That hurts. And as you first hit them with the crossbow, then this quick toss dagger, you can see they stumble on the stairs for just a moment, but they right themselves. Anything else, Ori?
I'm gonna send a message, yeah. I'm gonna do action surge and hit him again.
Who needs mass suggestion to say just let us do it?
I have a 6 for initiative. I just gotta wait.
I just gotta kill this guy first, and then it'll be cool.
Mass aggression works better if you're fighting against them, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's another 32.
Everything's fine.
32 is a hit.
This is just a regular shot
Very
though,
gloss
again.
back that way. It's not
For another 12 magical piercing.
12 magical
Also,
piercing.
nice.
Anything else, Ori?
That's it for me.
All right, 68 points of damage total. They're hurt by that, for sure. Still smiling with the bits of clothing still a little bit messed up.
Oh wait,
Thought there's
did I already move?
staircase.
Yeah, I already
You
moved,
did.
right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Anything else?
I could probably move back down a little with my movement. That's 20.
Yep.
I go back to get in range of him.
Okay, you run back down the stairs. You share a platform very close. He
Very
holds you
intimate
tenderly. So that is your turn, Ori. That brings us to Valis.
Treasure's like,
Quick. Where is the container again? Is it
See that
in
green gem?
No.
Oh, the one that you're holding?
Yeah. Am I actually holding it?
As long as you have not dropped it.
Okay. And it's really heavy. Can I do anything while I'm holding it?
It's
Or
50 pounds, so it would be tough.
okay.
It's holding
Does
a
it have an
small
arm
child while you're fighting.
If you could hold it and wield a sword, you would almost certainly be attacking at disadvantage pretty
Okay.
much every time.
All right. Sue.
You're carrying like an 8-year-old around.
Do I move it full regular speed while I'm carrying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not encumbered.
Does the Heart of a Dying Star count as a magical object?
I would say, Valis, given what you know, you would imagine, but you have no idea. That's a very uneducated guess.
Okay. Does this object I'm holding look like a magical object?
It does not. What you doing,
okay.
Valis?
How does animate
hands
object
materialize
work in
anywhere.
terms of carrying things?
In terms of carrying things,
Like,
it floats. So, I mean, it's not very fast, but it will move. And you can
Okay.
just command it to move around.
but if there's something in it, does it prevent it from moving, or does it carry it with it?
I imagine it would prevent it as long as it exceeds a weight limit. There isn't a weight limit listed, and so I'm going to say probably, because telekinesis is its own thing, it's probably a relatively low weight limit, like around 50 pounds. You won't be able to animate object the heart of
carry
a
itself.
dying star.
Okay.
Fucking bippity bop.
that'd be sick though.
Merlin would be proud.
I had to ask. All right. I'm gonna say to the group, try not to kill any of them if you can. And then I see
Sorry.
Ori almost eviscerate this guy. I'm gonna move down the stairs.
Okay.
One. So say I start here. 1, 2.
That's a glowing thing on the floor.
Are you stepping on the thing?
Does it look like it's glowing?
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Oh,
Yeah, he
can I
said it's a
just go
foreboding
here?
runes.
You want to just jump it?
Yeah.
I would say make a dexterity saving throw. Jumping it does run the risk of just plummeting down that staircase, but you certainly can.
Oh, you're right. You know what? I think I'll just face step over here.
Hell yeah. Face step straight
style.
down. You're about to step on the glyph, and then you're like, oh fuck, and you just face step down the rest of the way.
You know, I think I'll just face step right next to it, and then I think I will. Okay, what action would it be to put the thing into the container?
So as you get closer to this core standing, let me see exactly where you're standing.
So say I stand right next to it here.
So you stand right next to it there. As you stand there, almost instantly, you feel a little bit nauseous. Magic is maybe the wrong word, but there is something potent about this material. It radiates out, and you feel a little bit hot. This is heating up. This object is heating up, and it's heating up rapidly. It seems as if perhaps you breaching into this room has triggered a failsafe of some sort. You will want to contain this relatively quickly if you're going to do so.
You know, I'm just going to plop down the thing and then just take. Actually, can you show me how it's shaped? Is it shaped in a way where I can just kind of say this is the
It
star?
is not
just-
shaped evenly, and so it will take an action to like wiggle this over, and it will probably take either, and it would need to be an argument for this. It could, in theory, be a sleight of hand check, but you would need some assistance, some magic, or perhaps like a belt of giant strength. You could much more likely use an athletics check to muscle this in.
All right.
Or if you want to make it hard, you can make a strength check. And lose the additional proficiency modifier.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and do that. I will just try to use my athletics check to
It is warm.
It's getting warm down
put the
here.
star into the container.
Okay, make an athletics check.
We should have my reroll.
You used it for something good. It's okay.
Oh no, it's only for charisma. My
That
fucking random guy's thing is
Yeah.
is not very good. 7.
With a 7, you take this and you, like, without so much happening at once, you put one hand on the star, it kind of burns you even through your gloves. You take this thing and you try to just jam them together. Neither of your arms is strong enough to accomplish either of these tasks individually, and you just kind of slam them together. You see all of the eyes turn, and the tiefling turns down. They look at you, Ori, and they say, I'll be back in a moment. And like, you have everybody's attention now, and you have progressed not at all. Anything else?
I progressed
That's
in
true.
getting everyone's attention.
That is true. Anything else,
by the
Valis?
trap there.
Alright, action, move, bonus action. I am done.
Alrighty, Billy. What would you like to do?
Is Billy within touching distance of the tiefling?
Billy is in this room.
You're on
here.
the stairs, so
Yeah.
yeah, you are.
Great. Billy is going to touch the tiefling, and in their ears, they're going to whisper, "Just take it easy, and it will be over soon." And if you could make a wisdom saving throw for me.
That is going to be a 21.
Damn. Just please. And that's Silvery Barbs. Just please.
That's a natural 20.
Damn.
It was also so they make these checks at advantage. They rolled a 20 and a 1 on that advantage.
Damn.
Yeah, one of my pride dice right here.
Sorry. Do feel like
Anything
I tried.
else, Billy?
Billy's gonna shuffle back down the stairs. No longer blurred, by the way.
Okay, you shuffle back down the stairs. Are you walking all the way down?
No.
Okay.
Just like get it like 5-foot step back.
Okay, 5-foot step back. That is your
A
turn,
guarded
Billy.
step if one could do that in this system.
That does bring us to the heroes. So first, Kelvin Mirth, the conquered duelist, is going to turn after saying, "I'll be right back with you."
Cool name.
They are going to misty step.
Wait,
His
did you
name
cast a
is the
spell?
Concord Duelist, but it sounds like
I can
Conquered
use my
Duelist.
reaction to make an attack against him because it was cast within 5 feet of me.
Yeah, go ahead, make your attack.
I'm going to attack him.
Would you like to declare it to be non-lethal?
Yeah, non-lethal. I'm gonna try to fucking non-lethal hit him with the butt end of the dagger.
That's not him.
Nope, that's right. We're both wearing red.
I didn't think he was
28 to
moving,
hit.
but-
28 is a hit.
And that is a sneak attack because it was an advantage for being flanked.
Billy, step back.
The check to tell, was there
Somebody
Not
has
flanking,
to be
no.
touching.
was the
distance.
tiefling next
Oh
to
yeah,
anyone?
yeah, with other people. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's hard with the minis. Oh, they're there. Look at that.
Alright.
Oh.
4.
That's as close as it's gonna get, dude. Don't try to make it closer.
Unless.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
37 points of stabbies.
37 points. As they
Non-lethal stabbies.
as they appear in their like bottom
Bonks.
space, Valis, they kind of draw this rapier, but they're a little off balance. That's a lot of damage, and they're pretty hurt. They've taken a substantial amount of damage at this point, but they do take this rapier and fling it off about 15 feet up and into the air, and it bursts into flames. And as they yank their arm back down, it makes a wide turn and comes back to take attacks against you, Valis. The first attack
This guy is so cool.
is going to
I
be
want
a
him to kill me.
21 to hit. 21 to hit.
I will activate one of the spell shield spell glass,
Okay.
and that will make it miss.
Very nice. You take this bit, well, You don't. You're holding both the thing and your vessel. So if you need to break that as a reaction, what are you dropping?
Let's see. So my turn is just, I'm like this?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about how you're holding this glass.
Oh, I assumed that it was just kind of like tied to me, like tied to my arm.
Okay, so you just shatter it off. You use your reaction. You cast shield. For all of you, for the very first time, you see this spectral shield appear over Valus's arm. They will take the second attack. Less. That's a 16 to hit, so they're unable to hit. That is their bonus action. As movement. No, they're far enough away for a couple turns. They're going to just hang out right there. That is Kelvin. That's going to bring us to Saria. She is going to...
They don't need names. They're fine. They're just villains.
Guaranteed. When we get to campaign 3, one of these is going to be like our uncle or something who died bravely and tragically.
Due to some Vault Raiders.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Our Happy Fun Time campaign is just going to be terrible.
You see this individual in these almost like white silvery robes, these fiery embroidery embellishments, that kind of trim this element. They flare into these ember-like qualities as they begin to cast magic. You can see this point of light appear between their hands, and you've seen Fireball get cast before. They summon this ball of fire and heave it off in your direction. You counterspell at the 5th level, and that just fizzles into nothing. Very nice. That is an action. As a bonus action,
only I can do a fireball.
They're going to trigger
It's trademarked.
the fiery glyphs. And this circle erupts into a pillar of flames that just like a burner. And that continues to endure. That is Saria's action and bonus action. That is her turn. And that finally brings us to Jarrek's, Horn of the Bastion.
Nah.
Oh my god.
Shit, that's a cool name.
Nah.
I'm so glad
The
we
Bastion
took the
is
time to ask
probably
about
a
what we were doing
douche.
and why.
She wouldn't have told us why.
No, I mean like asking around.
I mean, it definitely can't be good.
Love this, Valus.
It's fine.
He can't get a running start on you, and that's good at least. But you feel the ground thud under these hooves. This huge minotaur, in what looks like full plate mail, rushes towards you, and they draw the sword. And as it pulls out of this scabbard, divine script just emanates off this blade as they swing and attack towards you.
His paladin's probably not as...
Valus is a 21 hit.
The shield is still up.
And they wind up
So no.
in one of
There
their...
you go.
Off the spectral shield.
And second attack. That is a natural 20.
Ooh.
Silver barbs, go
Thank
away!
you.
Barbs. That is another natural.
Oh,
I love that. I'll put that guy up there. I'll
really
take my one right back. Thank you for that.
You get to give advantage to someone on something, right?
Do you want it? All yours.
Does it work on skill checks?
I will help you.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know. For damage, Valus, you are taking... that is going to be 45 points of slashing damage.
Sorry, how much?
45 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
And you know what? I don't get to say this a whole lot. Please smite. As they hit you, they roar, and you can feel the hot breath come from out of this almost cow-like nostril as you take an additional 20 points of radiant damage.
Oh my god, I thought it was gonna be so much
And
worse.
they just heave this blade. They didn't roll great. They just heave this blade through. Oh, it's critical. That's 40 points of radiant damage. This is a massive blow from this creature, and they draw this sword back. They hold it high as if to strike again, and they shout out in common, "For the council!" And that is their turn. That brings us,
You just hit me with like 80 points of damage.
yeah, that is all the heroes. That brings us to Cheshire.
So Cheshire, seeing this nice clump, is going to cast her favorite, Slow.
Nice.
It is a 40-foot cube.
Oh, it is a nice clump. Look at that.
Slow is 3rd level.
It is. Yes, it is.
So you cast this spell.
Someone have a counter.
Give me 1 second.
Perhaps.
I'm going to borrow your dice for this because it makes the most thematic sense.
Ooh, of course it does.
Suddenly, the heart begins to glow. And it glows brighter and brighter 3 steps.
That's a good thing, right?
As it reaches this 3rd step, anybody within 10 feet of the heart, which I believe is Valis, the Minotaur, and my Tiefling, because he was expecting it to be just a little... Oh, no. Just the Valis and the Minotaur. Oh, yeah. No, I think she's 15, right?
Within
No.
10?
5, 10?
Oh, so the Tiefling also. Man, I'm getting
Well,
everybody.
the Tiefling's 15 away.
Yeah. No.
The Tiefling's a diagonal step
Oh,
away.
yeah, diagonal step. Yeah.
So in that case, Valis, the Minotaur, and my Mage are all going to go ahead and make some con saving throws, as instantly this thing heats up and begins to become almost molten in this space. Valis, this is probably going to be a little harder to manipulate now.
Unfortunate.
Guess we're gonna
You
have
can
to
see
kill them all.
the Minotaur doesn't even react, but this Mage starts screeching as she rolls a natural 1 and fails that save. Valis, what was yours?
32?
That is a success. And so, Valis, you are only taking 21 points of fire damage, halved to 10.
Do I have it further if I have resistance to fire?
You do. You have it yet again.
Nice.
Who does not have resistance to fire? This mage, whose entire face just ignites. And though they do seem to be fire and theme, it does not seem to be a high enough level to confer resistance.
Fire.
That hurts. That hurts them bad as that begins to kind of
realized this
melt
person
down.
I have a feeling like we all know who these people are now.
But that
If we
is
take a look at who this room looks like.
what is happening as a reaction. Now, the slow effect gets all of the people who are within there, plus those 2 guys, plus the or everybody but the tiefling, basically, correct? Cheshire?
What?
It's everybody but the tiefling?
Yes.
Okay. So, Valis, I believe you make the save as well. First,
yes.
for my human who is
I
on
would
fire.
exclude Valis.
You
I
get to
can
exclude
do-
me?
I can if I want to.
Ooh, do you want to?
Yes.
All right. The human woman whose face is on fire fails with an 8.
Damn.
That's a D12. The
Suffering
Minotaur fails with an 11. And then the 2 humans, Winery and Bill. Not everybody can have a cool fantasy name. That is going to be a 13 and then a 23 for Bill.
23 will succeed.
The only person that withstands this magical spell is Bill. The guard, he somehow manages to break free. His dedication to the Conqueror just too much for you to slow him down. Everybody else slowed. Very nice.
And then doing my best to make myself as small as possible.
You shrink back. Just making yourself as small as possible. Anything else?
That's it.
Alrighty, that is your turn. That brings us to the guards. So they are slowed.
Nice.
Except for Bill. Bill can move.
Bill.
Man,
Bill.
that's annoying. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, no. So Bill is the furthest away from anybody. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then he has to dash and make it all the way around. And he is not paid enough to deal with that. He is slowed. And so he runs. I'm going to say for each of them, the one who is slowed can't really make an attack. In theory, they actually can, rules as written, but they're not changing weapons on the fly. The other individual is going to throw a dagger at you as they run around this corner, though, Valis. They're not nearly as proficient as Ori is. Does an 8 hit?
No.
Okay. This dagger, not a throwing dagger like Ori's is. This is just like what they cut cheese and bread with. And they just whip it at you as they try to create some distance. They're too far to do anything else. That is both of the guards.
Troy.
That's slow spell hitting pretty hard. That brings us to Minka.
Okay. Seeing all the chaos, the star glowing, like and heating up, is it like having like a visual effect? Is it like very obvious that this is
very
happening?
obvious. You can see the air displace around it. It becomes wavy. It glows bright. This green becoming almost molten in the space. You can hear this woman shriek. The wood begins to singe. It's very visible.
Okay. My other question is, I'm assuming this would take a roll, but to connect the dots between magic being cast around it and it heating up, or is it just simply like a time thing? I guess it's an Arcana roll.
Make an Arcana check.
Mika sucks at those, and she knows she sucks at them.
You can make a flat intelligence check if you'd rather.
It's the same roll, Joe. Okay, so Mika's not really sure what's causing it, but she knows that judging by what's happening, we don't have a lot of time to figure it out. So instead, she will cast Levitate on the heart of the star and hope that Valicid doesn't light on fire.
Okay.
Sorry, what, say it again?
You
Good luck.
cast Levitate on the heart of a star. You look at it and you say, maybe magic is bad, but you throw magic right at it. And I love that for me.
Oh.
In this moment, the heart of the star begins to erupt in unpredictable gouts of flame. The fire just emerges, and I would say, Val, since you have the most stake in this, can you roll a d6, please? Actually, or d8, sorry.
3.
Okay. With a 3, it gouts out and erupts, and that guard, the slowed one, as they turn to begin to try to take their attack, they are met with a light speed of fire that just rushes out and across them. I will say, since you caused this, Minka,
Yep.
you go ahead and for me roll 10d10.
Oh my god.
That is so okay. I'm gonna roll that digitally because that's gonna take me forever to find that
That
many
is fair.
d10s.
That is fair.
Actually,
This
no,
is
you can
not.
just roll this. There's 10 d10s in here.
Oh, look at that. That's so handy. Damn.
Just ready to go. for
Whose
this
10d10 is
exact
that?
moment.
Vincent.
Huh?
That's my mental person dice.
What are those little
That's also
gems?
where I keep my animate objects.
Okay, I'm just like, what is happening?
That would have broken my brain. If I was told there's 10d6 and I poured it out and glitter poured out, that would not have computed.
He's got his little
Doodads.
little guys.
Okay,
It's like a fireworks for your dice rolling.
Congratulations, you set off the nuke.
I'm trying to do math.
Hard
I mean,
mode
kind
math.
of Talon. For that guy, at
37.
least.
With 37,
Oh, that's
this
actually
fire
pretty good.
rolls across them, and you can see the fire itself, not just pure fire, there is some kind of a liquid component. It sinks into their armor, it sinks into their belongings and their pockets, and it coats them, and they are burning, and they are almost dead just from that, but they are still alive. Does taking damage affect slowed at all?
Not damage. No, not damage.
Okay.
At the end of their turn, they can repeat the
Oh,
save.
okay. Let me repeat that save for him. He fails it
Think of the
anyways.
incinerator.
They are still up, but you can see the skin blistering and peeling away from the body. Their scream ends. It's a slow scream. But they are still up. Anything else, Minka?
She'll channel the dragon and be like, magic bad!
You channel the dragon, you scream magic bad. That is your turn. That brings us to you, Alina.
I thought magic must
Well-
defeat magic.
I mean, this all has gone very quickly sideways. Lena doesn't think mass suggestion is going to work anymore because the suggestion has to be reasonable. So we can't just...
Come on now, fellows. This is a misunderstanding.
What if we just tell them that
On
we're
Pazan.
taking it away because clearly it's not good to be here anymore?
We're trying the same strategy again. We're actually here on unofficial official business to
Actually,
repossess.
second shift, we're here to relieve you.
There's been reports of malfeasance.
All right.
We thought
So-
you broke in.
She's going to actually
We're testing the security
stoop
system.
down and pick up the shard of glass.
Okay.
She's just going to hang on to it so that she can bring it down there.
It's a mobile doorway, absolutely.
That's true. That is a lighter object to carry than
Yeah.
500 pounds.
So she's going to pick that up, and then can I do that as a free action?
You certainly can. Just reaching down and scooping that off the ground is easy enough.
And then, can I have a little fly stand?
I have big fly stand. I don't have little fly stand. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
Little fly stand.
Okay.
Upside down, other way.
It's missing the little disc
It
thingy.
is, yeah.
I've just been balancing. I actually thought that's how it always was.
Oh, here it is.
So,
I found it.
that's, yeah, but, okay, we're good. So she's gonna stay up at this height,
Okay.
which I think is, like 20 feet or so?
Give or take, yeah.
All right. And once she's up there, rolling her eyes, she's gonna be like, "Well, I guess we're just shooting people again." And she's gonna go ahead and what?
I said I haven't shot anyone.
shot anybody.
haven't shot anyone.
It's really just
You and me. You're shooting people. She's like, in for a penny, in for a fucking pound over here. She's just gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast at the mage.
Absolutely. You're just following orders. You cast Eldritch
no,
Blast right at
God.
this mage.
Oh my,
Nuremberg?
I hate everything.
That's in Darby.
21.
The 21, that is absolutely a hit.
We'll just do these one at a time so that.
Let's say, like,
Are you-
what's the odds for surviving a hit?
Are you allowed to make Eldritch Blast non-lethal?
No,
Damn.
as well established in the podcast Dragon Touch.
Just
Could try to kneecap her.
It's just
I made my
it's
bed.
an
All right,
Eldritch
7
Blast.
points of damage.
7 points of damage. This is a person on fire.
Yeah,
With 7 points of damage, regrettably, they are still up.
that's a mercy killing. Okay, that's 28 to hit.
28 is a hit.
Okay,
Okay,
13.
With 13, that is more than enough. The first hit, you hit them in the back. They sink down to one knee. They're grabbing at their throat, but there is no oxygen left to scream with. And then you just hit them right in the back of the head, and they drop, and they are still.
And then rather than shooting off the third, she's gonna extinguish it and just yell, "Everybody else stand down or you're next."
No problem. Free action. You threaten this room full of like heroic individuals. You
I
are.
can't say I didn't give them
There
a chance.
is no more "are we the baddies?" It is not a question you get to ask anymore. You feel your villain arc begin to rise. That is your turn,
possible
Alina.
deniability up until that turn.
That brings us to initiative order 0.
You were stabbing that guy. You
Yeah,
stabbed
because
him so
he
much.
threatened
Hey.
us first. We just entered the room.
All we had to do was turn around.
Somehow it just felt like
Thump.
we as a team had done a lot. Well, it's the magic.
Oh
really.
my god, hate that.
Oh no!
Saw that
Oh,
coming.
That statue just stepped toward us. That's awesome. Oh, there's a little platform. Well, the thing is, it's broken.
So each of these things, you can see almost angelic looking statues. On the pedestals, they rock. And then slams down. They can move a very limited amount. And you don't get the sense that these are alive. These are constructs, perhaps. But for you, Valis, you are aware of the fact that in the clasped palms, there is a light that glows. And then there is this screech of ozone and then a crack of lightning. And they are going to take an attack.
Oh, they laser beaming across?
They are Valis, this Minotaur, and the soldier behind them. Oh, the soldier behind him is dead, actually, if you want to pull that guy off.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got...
Oh, he died from the fire?
From the Eldritch Blasts.
What? No, I was shooting at the mage.
Oh, you were shooting at the mage.
Yeah.
The
Face
mage is
on
down.
fire. Okay, so
Mage is dead.
not dead.
No, the mage is
Sorry,
very
you said
much
the
dead.
person on fire, and I was confused.
I thought you meant
There's
like
several.
down.
There's two people that are on fire right
Right.
now. So you down the mage. The soldier is still up. Then they're on fire and screaming.
Slowly.
If you want to put them back.
I did that.
Yeah, I took the mage off.
Okay. So
Then they're gonna get lasered.
this first statue is certainly going to laser. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, Valis?
Lazed, rather, I suppose.
All the
Soldier's
slowed ones
gonna
do it
fail.
at disadvantage.
The what?
All the slowed ones do so at disadvantage.
That is true. This old one fails without the help of disadvantage.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Very nice. This lightning bolt crackles out, Valis. And with that, Valis, you are taking 21 points of damage. It's a popular number tonight. Half to 10.
Is it a spell?
This is a spell.
Alright, I take half because I'm resistant. to
Very
it.
nice. Only 5 points for you. Jarek takes the full 10. The guard that is behind them takes the full 10. They are still alive. It is the exact same amount of damage being replayed from Alina, just in a different turn. They take this lightning damage. They fall to their knees, but they do not get the benefit of that last little bit to kill them. They're still up. That is the first statue. The second statue stomps to the left again, and Alina, you feel the ozone grow hot. As they crack this lightning bolt, it will strike through your space. And can I see your sunbeam? Ori, it
Chains
ends
lightning.
just before you. This lightning almost certainly directed to hit both of you. Alina, can you make a dex saving throw, please?
I guess. But it's
This is against the spell.
right? Alrighty.
Ooh.
I don't like that. 15.
Add a d4 for bless.
Oh, right.
We bless him up in this.
18.
That is a pizza.
18.
And with
Bless
that,
him up in this.
instead of taking 28 points of electric damage, you are taking only 14. This cracks a lightning bolt, and you are able to dodge partially out of the way, but that is both of the statues. That brings us to the top of the round, and to you, Ori.
So there's a lot going on right now.
There is this heart of the star melting down. You can see just gouting fire. One of these soldiers, almost killed from that, just burst alone. What are you doing?
How far? Oh, it's not dim light. It's bright light.
Correct.
I
You're
can't.
also near Minka, who's now channeling.
How did you all? Oh, there's a staircase right there too.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, but
So
you
I
would
can.
have to walk
That
through
and
the
that is
fire.
that is just a
Yeah.
pillar of fire right now.
Fuck it. I'll get down to here where it's like right before the pillar of fire, and then drop down.
Okay, just
And
a
then-
10-foot drop.
I think I can get to the side of the table here.
Yeah.
And then can I? Yeah, can I like?
It's
try to-
currently levitating.
Is it levitating?
Yes,
Does
it
that spell
is.
work?
Yes, it is. It's
Oh, it
level-
is.
Oh, would it make it
levitating.
easier for me to actually put it in then, or would it actually make it
Yeah.
harder?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Because it's 500 pounds. Once it's inside, it can no longer be levitated. But
Okay.
hopefully, once it's
can I-
inside, also.
Can
Dunk
I
it?
quick toss it in?
Please don't
I'm
quick
sorry,
toss
you
it
want to
in.
quick toss a 500-pound?
Well, it's levitated right now, so that's why I'm
It's-
like,
Can he maybe just like push it into?
that's why I like. Can I
It
like
can only.
dunk
Can he just push it into the container since I'm like
I mean, I can
holding
also just use
both?
my action. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, like, does
So it is an action, certainly, to move into the container. With the benefits of levitate, I would say you can do a sleight of hand check, and that's the enabler that you need to have it be sleight of hand and not athletics.
okay?
Do it.
I mean, yeah, my athletics is pretty good too, but my
It's probably.
You can do
my
athletics
sleight
if
of
you
hand-
prefer.
I think my sleight of hand is better.
Wouldn't sleight of hand benefit from base 10
It should, yeah.
Yes, it should.
versus athletics, which would most likely not?
You'd be surprised. It does actually as well.
Oh, nice.
And actually, they are the same, so it doesn't really matter.
You want to be muscular, you want to be smart.
Well, I think if it was athletics, Ori would probably like leverage himself and then just kick it.
Yeah, so what should you doing?
I want to be smart.
There you go.
I'm a smart boy.
You're about to leverage it and kick it, and you're like, wait, this is a
Wait a
spell,
second.
and you just kind of push it.
And I'm gonna do that.
Oh, wait.
And that's gonna be a 24.
This is a bulky object. It's irregularly shaped, and this is a circular opening. But even with all that, with Minka helping you with the levitation, you gently guide this in. It's molten in its heat, and so you do take damage from that.
That's fine. I'm like,
You are taking 21 points of fire damage as you push this in. But as your hands pull away, it is just as hot, but you feel the temperature just by a bit begin to cool.
do I need to like seal it?
There doesn't seem to be anything to do to seal this. Anything else, Ori?
I'm up against the paladin sort of guy,
Sure.
right? I'm gonna
Yeah.
bonus action, quick toss the guy that's burning on fire behind me.
All right, do it. Make your attack roll. They're on their
non-lethal.
knees. They're on
Non-lethal.
fire.
Non-lethal.
I don't know if you can non-lethally toss a blade.
You get the
Oh,
sense
that's true.
also that not even if you could, which you can't,
Yeah.
you imagine with them being on fire presently, it will very quickly become
Then I'm
lethal.
gonna
He's
non-lethal.
so slow right now. He's
I'm
not
gonna,
even a threat.
I'm gonna non-lethal attack the guy that's standing right next to me.
The Minotaur?
Yeah, the Minotaur.
Okay,
Star in the thing.
Yeah.
it is.
So
Which I guess is just a regular offhanded melee attack because I
We'll
can't
say
use quick
this
toss
is
the
on
thing.
it, so it doesn't take proficiency.
Correct.
Regular ass
Unless you got two-handed fighting.
punch with the back of my hand. Nope. Unless he's not wearing any armor. Okay.
He's
then
wearing plate mail. You clangs off the plate
I
mail.
hit him
A
with the
little
butt
bit,
of
'cause nobody
my.
else-
That is your turn, Ori?
Like, leave my friend alone.
That is your turn, Ori?
That's it.
Alrighty. You manage to put the dying heart of a star into a containment field. You manage to clang a blade off of this individual, and that brings us to Valis. Valis, the heat here is immense. You get the sense that if you do not move away from this, you'll take some damage, but it does feel as if it's cooling now.
okay, I will say to the group, meet where we all started, and prep the lady to get us out of here.
It's like,
And I am going to grab the container,
Okay.
and I'm going to phase step, but I'm not going to the stairs. I am just making sure I can do it.
Okay.
wait,
So,
what? But you said
yeah, I did say those things.
Just go to the
Actually-
stairs, man.
it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, but not everyone's.
You gave us a meeting place,
And I need
that-
to make sure we're all there.
Trust that we can make it.
Alina
Okay.
did pick up the shard of glass, so like, she's just gonna backtrack to get back to you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh right, so the shard of glass is not there. Okay.
Pals
Yeah, but
probably
Pals
didn't see.
House doesn't know that.
All right.
What's your passive perception?
Not high enough for that.
I am. Oh man.
What you doing, Valis?
Don't worry, we can make it, dude.
Getting lazed again?
Get out.
Just do it.
Smiting yourself?
Take it and get out.
You should.
That was a really good plan.
I recommend.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a problem
get out
with
of
that
there.
plan. I'm gonna say to the group, don't kill anyone else, and I'm gonna lay on my hands and heal myself to full.
Sorry.
And I'm gonna hold my and I'm not gonna face step right now though.
Okay.
But I do need to know the face step works. So I just want to face step with it and make sure that it comes with me.
Wait.
What, like
Yeah.
an inch off to the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
Why don't you just go the whole way?
You should probably
here.
face step away.
Ah!
Just take it with
Don't
you.
face step into the fucking statue.
No, I
line.
think I see what you're doing here.
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm over here. Standing
Yes.
over a dead body.
Alina's like, I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna say to the group, don't kill anyone else. Get back to where we started.
Okay.
Did the thing come with me?
so if you're carrying it as an object, it would come with you.
Yeah.
It's not
that's
a
what I'm
creature.
thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, no problem. You grab onto this containment unit, you face step, and it face steps with you.
All right. I'll put it like right here,
Okay.
and I will be right here, and I heal myself with lay on hands, and I end my turn.
There you go. That is your turn. You face step with this object. As you face step with this object, casting magic on it yet again.
Does this count as magic? Because
Yes.
it's a.
You did a magic.
Oh, that's true.
Racial ability.
It is magic. It's not a spell, but it is.
It is still magic,
Yeah.
though. Give me 1 second.
Spell
I
like
think that's
abilities
bad
are still
news bears.
technically magic.
Oh, it is bad news bears. All right. Can I see this template, please?
I love this.
Bad news bears for
I assist?
for that,
Oh,
right?
please. Thank you.
Bad news
You did
bears.
that so fast.
I
So
have
bad.
I have nails that function and tiny hands. I like
They're
raccoon
having
hands.
Valis,
Bears.
Alina, Ori, the Minotaur, and this one guy with 4 HP left. I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws. And to give you a hint as to the damage, you can just pull that dude with the 4 HP just straight off the map.
It's 4 HP. Don't worry about it.
This
The
isn't
slow
a
ones do so at disadvantage.
this isn't a spell, right?
It is not, but it is magic. With 27, that is a success.
And I take 0 for being a rogue.
16 for me.
16, that is a success. And then for my individuals here, for you, Valis, success from my Minotaur.
15.
15, that is a meets it, beats it. Every single one of you succeed, and so you take 50 points of fire damage, halved to 25.
Oh, I'm immune to fire damage?
In which case you would take 0. As this fire washes over you, you shut your eyes, but it does nothing. This, as it explodes, for you, Valis, in your hands, you feel the vessel overwhelmingly hot, but what is within it, just as you saw it when you entered the chamber for the first time, is the dying card of a star. It is not radiating angry, fiery magic. As long as no magic is cast on it again, it will likely stay inert. And it is still in its container, which glows fairly hot in this moment, but otherwise, you still have this trapped. Anything else, Valis?
That'll be it.
Alrighty, that is it for you, Valis. That brings us to Billy.
Billy just like looks over at Alina and is like, "Just hurry up!" And heartache.
Thank you.
I can do nothing else. Heal and then no.
Where are
So
you?
if Bardic is a bonus
Yeah,
action, can I
downstairs.
bonus action healing word somebody?
No,
The end.
because bonus action, no problem. You stand on the stairs, Billy. That brings us to the heroes. So, a lot of fire.
Okay, so I'm gonna
What a
go ahead.
chaos.
Oh, damn.
I am too busy focused on this.
They were up there.
Cara is focused on this.
Ori,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
you find yourselves between these two individuals.
Psych, I use my reaction when that guy gets in range of me and I stab him non-lethally. Of
Okay,
course.
make your attack roll, not legally, of course.
The tiefling that is entering my range. And is that 21 hit, I believe?
21 does hit.
Alright, and that is not a sneak attack, right? Because he's just coming in at me.
Correct.
So that's gonna be.
And they're pretty hurt.
That's what I'm hoping that this will do it. has 18 stabby stabs.
Not enough to
Non-lethal
take him out.
stabby stabs.
But still a good amount. They are badly hurt as they step in. You slash out. They parry most of that blow, but you still slash across their arm. They pull this back and drop the sword, but they pull their arm up in an uppercut, and the sword rises with it for their first attack. Ori, natural 20, assuming that hits. Ori. So, first, in terms of piercing damage, you are going to be taking...
No! Slippery barbs.
Why'd you wait until I already rolled damage?
Sorry.
In the future?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because that was a double natural 20, and I felt very nice.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Still probably going to be a hit with a 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a critical, however. And I do need to reroll my damage because it works different on a non-critical. No worries. That is going to be only 6 points of piercing, plus
I think they are.
6 points of psychic. And then they are going to take a second attack. Ori does, it's a 25 again.
Yep.
That is 9 points of piercing, plus 4 points of psychic. And then they are going to Misty Step. And they are going to step right here. And Valis, can you make a wisdom saving throw? As they appear with the sword flaming as it is, kind of, the sword doesn't teleport, they call it back to their hand, and it goes straight past your face in this moment.
27. Wisdom, you said?
Yes.
27.
And with the 27, in this moment, it is like they are all over the battlefield and attacking you from all directions. You feel fear for just a moment in your heart, but that does not take you anymore. They cannot menace you. You are fine. That is their turn.
I'm
This
the menace.
paladin,
We know.
Ori, is going to strike you twice.
I'm going to reduce the first attack by 2.
Okay.
My reaction.
That's a good one to do it to. That is with the reduction by 2, a 23.
Yeah, I'd prefer not, but sure.
Very nice. Okay.
Clear it before it happens.
So, that is going to be max damage with 18 points of slashing damage, and they'll smite on that.
Would prefer not, but
No.
okay.
Ooh.
Don't tell me max damage again.
It's not max damage, but it's not great. It's 26 points of radiant damage to you. That is their first attack or second attack.
Cool.
That is the heroes, because the last one is dead. Cheshire. What would you like to do?
Does it look like Valis is trying to get us to come to him, or is he coming, like, is he moving in my direction?
While Valis's words and actions don't match, it seems as if Valis is trying to leave.
I did say meet where we all came in.
But then they were in the opposite direction, so
Yeah.
it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna wait.
Okay? You hold. Not quite sure what Valis means by that, which is fair. That's true for most people. That brings us to the guard.
I mean, 4 out of 7 of us are just kind of right here.
Yeah.
So you're with the majority.
They finished their run. And they burned up in that last attack.
My job is done.
Ori, this individual runs up and slashes twice with this blade. First one is going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to be 12 points of slashing damage. And then with the second one, that is going to be a 17 to hit.
Meets.
That is going to be only 7 points of slashing damage. That's minimum damage for them, pretty much.
How close are you?
That is the guards. That brings us to Minka.
He definitely has a number of HP left.
A singular number?
If we're talking digits.
So the instructions are to stay here. And Ori seems to be in a bad way. So what I will do is go from dragon to chalice, since dragon seems to be no longer useful since the item is now inside the thing. And I will cast healing word
Okay.
on Ori
Okay.
And on that.
at 4th level.
Very nice.
Okay, so that's gonna be
You flood Ori with healing. Ori is looking as bad as you have seen him, and you've seen him in rough shape a couple times.
yeah. Okay,
A lot
so
of the time.
4.
most of the time. Ori's looking like normal, and that's a problem.
40-60% split. You can decide which way it leans.
9 and the extra 9. So it's 17 points of healing.
Okay.
And then since you are still very dead looking, I will take the chalice and then add the 2, since you were just within my range,
Nice.
to do 2 chalice points
Yeah.
of a total of 10 points of healing.
Hey, there you go. 27 health in total is nothing to sneeze at.
So that was my bonus action. For my action, can I look around on the floor, like at our feet, for the shard to make sure that we're all standing near it?
You take a look down at your feet, and there's no shard. You look up at the other ones. It's easy for you to misplace stuff. There is no shard to be seen.
Damn.
And then, as a free action, she's gonna be like, "Where is
Shout that out. Absolutely.
The entire party's just like, what the fuck?
So that was my action. My bonus action. I'm not gonna move because I don't know where I'm going now.
Yeah, you continue to just like tear across these bricks looking for a place where maybe they fell between, maybe they fell off. You look over.
Billy
It's
pulls
hard
out
to
the
tell.
sending stone to hold it up for light.
I'm also glowing, so we're just like it's casting weird shadows on everything.
But you do not see this
somewhere.
piece of glass. Weird though that may be. That is your turn, Minka? Yep. That brings us to you, Alina. Alina, people are panicking.
I have it! Why? Because I was gonna bring it to the thing and stuff. Okay, time to go. And
As I was
she.
waiting, can I cast Minor Illusion to play off of the light that Minka is? It's now
Yes,
pink
you
and purple.
absolutely can. So in this moment, Minka, you just become you know those things at the Museum of Science that you touch and the lightning kind of crackles
Yeah.
towards your fingers? It's like that kind of color just all across you.
Okay. How is Valis looking? Does he look like he's got one more get hurt by fire from the thing in him?
Oh, you saw me heal
He just healed
myself
himself.
pretty substantially.
Okay. All right. So Alina's gonna be like, all right, Valis, meet us up there, and then she's gonna go down here, grab Ori and thunderstep him out of there.
Fantastic.
Up to here, and so that means that each of these two guys
Well positioned. That is a con save or strength
is a
save?
con save DC 19.
Even with the aura, that is a failure for both.
Nice.
Okey-dokey, so it's 5d10. Alina's motto has become in for a penny, in for a pound.
Non-lethal?
It hurts their eardrums real bad, and it's only 18 damage.
Hey, 18 is still pretty good. Bill, looking a little hurt now.
Don't hurt Bill.
Anything
All of
else?
Billy's fine.
It's gonna go like this.
Take a defensive stance, one
Or
hand
actually,
holding
no.
Ori.
I'm sorry. She's gonna just say to the shard, "Look, in 6 to 12 seconds, we'll be ready to go."
12!
6 to 12.
In this moment, as you
Happens
hold this
concurrently.
shard and the reflection turns towards you, you can see, looking over your shoulder, the Madam of Dark Reflections, and she says, "When you activate this piece of mirror, you will come through, and any not within 6 seconds will be left behind."
Okay, I haven't activated it yet, right?
Correct. So when you activate it, there will be one turn for people to touch this.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Beep, boop, beep.
You say the words
Oh.
of power, but they do nothing. Anything else, Alina?
That's it.
All right, that brings us to the statues. Man. Oh, I love this.
I hate it.
Alice.
Well,
Not quite.
this guy can't do anything, but Valis, the statue, boom, boom. And then you see between the clasp hands this light begin to glow, and there is a crackle of lightning. Can you make a dexterity saving
Is it a
throw?
spell?
No. But you know what? I would say based on how these were built, because it is... No, you wouldn't know that. I would say yes, you can use Counterspell.
Hell yeah.
So you cast Counterspell. As this lightning cracks towards you, Alina, having just understepped up, you throw this ability and it just bounces the electricity back. That is both of the statues that can act. That brings us to the top of the round and to Ori. Ori, you are now on the stairs. You can see in Alina's other hand this shard of mirror. What are you doing?
I guess I ready my action to leave, and if we are beset, defend from.
When you ready an action, you declare an action and a trigger. Those are two different things and two different triggers. What feature is this
not an
from?
Elvis statement.
Oh, man.
I'm going to,
Gonna make it.
I just learned those.
Ooh, can I bonus action dodge and then ready to touch?
as a rogue, I think you can, yeah.
I do that.
Very nice. You dodge. Kind of trying to... It's hard
Or
because
bonus
Alina's
action
like
hide.
holding you.
I guess.
Okay, make a stealth check. And then that is your turn. That brings us to Valis.
I cast Revivify on the maid.
Okay. So you take out this gem and you push it into their chest, and in this moment, the ember threads that are woven into this garment blaze to life, and you see their eyes burst open, and they are back alive, drawn from the brink of death by this spell.
I stand up and I say, we're sorry, and I face step to the group with the Heart of the Dying Star.
You face step up, you have brought them back, but even bringing them back from this brink, they turn and regarding you from the floor, they point and they say, "The Church of Law and Light will remember this heresy." And they burn your face into their mind as best they can. Anything else, Alice?
I'm with the group now, right?
Yes, you are.
And I guess
Sorry, didn't catch that.
I look for the mirror shard and I
Alina's holding
I
it.
have it in my hand.
take us out of here, madam.
So in this moment, is everybody touching the shard?
Yeah.
All right. You stand up now with the group, putting all of your accomplice in a nice, tidy frame, and then you touch this shard, all of you together, and you disappear.
And we lose the campaign.
And you are all out of initiative.
What did they say they wanted?
This campaign 3 canceled.
Overwhelming sense of movement as you rush along this space, and suddenly you step, kind of shifting through your orientation, and many of you stumble back out into the space that you had left behind in the Emerald Spire. You find yourselves now kind of out here. It is a little bit later, closer to like noon at this point. But you are all there. And who's holding the Heart of a Dying Star?
I guess I am, just because it's probably just really heavy and
Val is here within the Emerald Spire. Almost instantly, it goes dull and becomes just this chunk of metal, very cold, in this container. And because it is 10:20, as you all emerge back into the Emerald Spire, this is where we're going to end for the evening. You have successfully heisted an artifact on behalf of the Madam of Dark Reflections, and that will certainly have no bad consequences on anything.
It's fine.
Your
we're not
debt
on
to the Madam of Dark
Stream.
Reflections is erased. And I will tell you, if you had failed, Ori's soul would have belonged to the Madam of Dark Reflections for 100 years.
Damn. I'm
So-
glad that worked out.
Why did you treat with her?
Thank you for joining us for this session. You actually would not have been able to.
Yeah.
Thank you for
why.
joining us for this session. If you cannot wait a whole week for another session, join us on Sunday as we play The Influencers 2, a Starfinder original one-shot. But whatever you do, please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you next week.
bye.